I'm gonna be on, and then I'll.
Yo, salute. Nick's Real Talk, man. Divine. About to get out my grind, hop in the Black Knight. About to make it happen, man. Nick's Real Talk, we all over the place. About to get it popping. Divine Bronx Jedi 7-6. The night show, the morning show. Nick's Real Talk, man. About to get in the Black Knight. Nick's Real Talk, let's get it popping. We hopping like topping in the Jumpman brand. Ain't no stopping. Divine and Bronx Jedi 7-6. We live from Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch, and all that shit. We number uno with the promo that blow like nitro. Now the streets are buzzing, so we flow with the night show. So spike them lights below. That thumbs up, run them up, and you double up. Cause it's Nick Real Talk, and we on the come up. We'll salute to the cats in the chat. That's where it's at. Now you place the chats. When I pace that under space where our faces at. We lace these cats with news, notes, stats. Game recap, no hyperbole, we straight facts. In fact, we say it lit like a candle throughout the handle on the panel. We violent, so subscribe to the channel. Nick's Real Talk. Nick's Real Talk. Salute, everybody. What's going on? Nick's Real Talk, man. Divine in the house with my man Bronx Sports Jedi. Just coming off the watch of the Summer League game. We're going to get into all that, man. So salute to everybody out there, man. I hope y'all having a good Sunday. Everybody chilling, man, and ready to get into a little Nick talk, man. We're going to go over the Summer League. We're going to get into the the off-season recap, man. What went on with the free agency and what you think the Knicks did and all that good stuff. We're going to chop all that stuff up, man. We're going to get it popping. Hopefully everybody chiming in later on, man. Coming here and let's get it go, man. Salute to my brother BX Jedi. What's up, my brother?
What's going on, Divine? Hope you're doing well. Salute to Camilio, to Canal, to Will. I'm glad you guys are doing here. Happy Sunday to you guys. Happy Summer League Sunday, man. I hope everybody enjoyed that Summer League game. It was nice to see the guys back on the court. Seeing our young rookies going up and down, playing and developing. That's the main of the game. What are we seeing? Game one, not to overreact, but what do we see in the development of our guys, Divine?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's how I'm taking it too, man. The Canal, salute. Will, salute. Camilio, salute to all you cats, man. Yeah, BX, I'm out. That's what I'm looking at, man. I just wanted to see, how these guys are gonna, pan out on what they bring to the table. And I like what I've seen tonight, today, excuse me. Definitely for Obi Toppin. I like his maturation. I like what he brought to the game today. I know, and I like that he's getting confident in his all around game. It's summer league, but it's good to see him. I thought he should have been the best player out there today, due to the fact of his talent and him playing in the NBA last year. I thought he should have been the best player, and he did. He looked real good. So I'm glad to see that. That tells me that I thought he was gonna have a bounce back year. I said, you know what, he got a full training camp of summer league. I just think Obi Toppin going to have a good year. I think quickly going to bounce back. Well, they're both going to have a good year because they're used to the NBA. They've been in the NBA for a whole year, and they know the game, and they're familiar with what's going on. So for the first summer league game, not playing against competition since you probably entered in the playoffs against Atlanta, 5-on-5 basketball competition. So it was pretty cool to see that. And like I said, but Sims going to be nice. I love him. I love what I've seen from that young man. Oh my goodness, that young man gonna be special. So I like what I seen. I like Grimes. McBride looked it well, and I really did, man. I thought it was good overall, even though we lost the game, BX. But I did get to see, what these young guys that we drafted, what they made up. Grimes got a good shot, you know what I mean. And Veldoza, though he didn't have a good game at all, but I see that he's still engaged with the hustle of the game. And coming from coming from the Olympics in Tokyo, flying over here the other night. So I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt today because he just got back from the Olympics, flying from Tokyo, had to get in and get settled. So, but overall, I liked what I seen though.
Yeah, not to put in excuses, but he did prior to the game. He said he was jet lagged. When it comes to jet lag, I mean, Luca Valdosa, he said he was a little jet lagged from the flight from Japan all the way across the waters, and just to see him with that alley oop at the end of the half was very nice to see those type of skill sets. He needs to get his legs better. Hopefully, he's got until Wednesday. Have a couple of days to get acclimated with the time zone and get the proper rest. We'll probably see the best of Luca Valdosa going forward. He just and quickly, quickly is that type of player. He's gonna be streaky. And also those rims. Those rims were really tight. Little. I know everyone has to play it equal, and no excuses on that. But I like what Sims did. Jericho Sims up and down the court. That energy, that dynamic, that athleticism, and Obi Toppin. He showed like he was back in Dayton. He turned back the clock, and now this is what he needed to benefit last year from not having and it's going to show. I think his games are going to be improved from leaps and bounds going forward. And Quentin Grimes, he was okay. Now it's not to overreact. It's not overreaction over one game. Quentin Grimes was good. I like what I saw from McBride. I really like what I seen and the way he was, heads up, very very energetic with his hands and defensively, and also the way he attacked the ball and the basket. I only disappointment I saw was from no Rokas. I do, he only going to play 3 games, and I would like to see him get some minutes. Especially we know we want to see what we have. We know he's going to be a stash away player in internationals, but we do still wanted to see him at least get some minutes. And it was only game one, so hopefully maybe game two he'll be ready, and we'll get to see him play on the court more because we want to see the guys that we know that has a possibility of being on the team and the roster. And I think that's what we all want to see. As long as we see development and a cohesion, I'll be happy with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think to go over what we've seen today, this team perspective. Um, that's why I was wondering about the guy Sheldon. I mean, did he really need to play them many minutes? They could have gave some of the minutes to Rokas or somebody who really, really. That's was my only thing with that. It's like, well, dude, this guy really? He's not going to be on the Knicks. I understand he probably had a feeling for Kevin Knox, like you said, but when I realized like he wasn't really, really, I was like, man, just give it to somebody else. Let them get a chance to burn the other Sims or somebody else out there. But I guess it's a summer league game, like you said. They just trying to figure out who's there, what they got, and what they're gonna do. But I do like Obi's aggressive today was nice, man. He showed me what I always wanted to see last year because he showed me some of it last year where he got an all around game. Obi could play outside, he could play inside, he could put the ball on the floor. I think the best is yet to come for that young man. His energy is phenomenal. So I like that 24-8 he gave us. And can imagine me if his 3 ball would have been like hot, let's say we would have shot 40% today, he probably would have had 30, 33 points. You know what I mean? So that's I was pretty happy to see the and his rebound. I love the way Obi go at the rebound. He go hard though. I love the way when he get that ball in his hand, he's snatching that rebound coming off the glass. He bringing that thing down, man. I love to see that too. His energy is there. I'm happy about Obi Toppin. I really do think he's going to have a really good bounce back here, and I think he'd be able to give Julius Randle a little bit less minutes. He can play a little bit more. Hopefully, he keep the same energy up. Like I said, like I tried to tell people last year, he didn't have none of them guys didn't have this last year. They didn't have a summer league, they didn't have a training camp, so they couldn't get their rhythms and all that good stuff. But I tell you what, man, I think he's gonna have a good year, man. I think Obi Toppin he's gonna hold that back up for the Knicks this year, and I think he's gonna do well. But and other than that, Sims. Impressive young man, strong, athletic, can put the ball on the floor. He's gonna be a good player too. I think the future look bright for New York Knicks, man. That's real talk, man. I think the future looks bright, and I'm excited to see what they got with these young guys, man. I know they're not gonna be accustomed to a role right now with the Knicks for game night out and night out. I don't think some of them going to probably be situational. But I do think I do like what I see out of them young guys. I'm happy with that draft for sure.
Yeah, they signed. They announced and before prior to the game, they signed Jericho Sims to a 2-way contract with the Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
They got all their guys in camp. They signed everyone to their draft picks that they want to use this year to contracts. We all know Rokas hasn't signed a contract because he's going to go back to Europe. Back to his league to play over there. He'll probably return next year, but yeah, we're going to see how they use him. I am intrigued by the unknown with him. I do want to see him to play a little bit of the unknown and to see how he fits in and how he runs a point guard situation. And I was actually, what about, let me ask you this. Were you surprised that Yodi Modi was the head coach for the Summer League, not Johnny Greer or Kenny Payne?
I definitely was. I didn't expect him there. I didn't know who was going to be there. To be honest with you, I didn't. I thought it could have been Johnny Bryant more than anybody. But I wasn't surprised to me because even like the past year and the previous year before Tibbs got there, they would have sometimes Mike Miller, the G League coach, run the summer league. You know what I mean, so I don't think there's nothing that Johnny Bryant need to do from a head coach standpoint in the summer league because I mean his job is set for as that. So I could see the guys like the guy that had Yoko him today because he's trying to come on a come up. So that and like that's what you do. Like you look at Toronto, look at who they had there, the kid Motumbo. He's not even one of their main guys. You know what I mean? I just think it's summer league and you just trying to I guess hold this spot down while the people like Tibbs and Johnny Bryan them get ready to do the things they need to do. So I let so I wasn't mad with it, but I was surprised. I did not think I'd see him there. That's for sure.
Yeah, because I found that weird because I wanted to see because it's going to be Brian's offense and his set plays, and I wanted to see him with the guys out there and see how he's going to set. And maybe they didn't want to tip their hands. I have a scouting report with it, so maybe that's why they went with Uramoto as the head coach with that. Maybe that's the reason why. But I just found a little different. I said maybe they wanted to see what developing plays that they have there. And like you said, Mike Miller would have been a good if he was still here, or whoever's coaching the G League would have been another um, fine example because they're going to run those set plays and work on that. I wanted to see that because if it looks like it looks like out of all those, I think three players might make the roster for the Knicks on the team. The rest will probably be either in the G League or not part of the Knicks organization. I
Mhm.
hate to say that, but it looks like that. And it looks like as much as we want Jericho Sims on, he might be in the G League. He might not even be on the team. And it's not because of detriment to his game. It's just they just want to keep that active body developing more quicker in the G League
Mhm.
to get acclimated with the plays and get ready. I think it serves him well if he continues to bang with NBA type of talent in the G League. So when they do call upon his name, and he'll be ready to come up on that. So folks, don't be surprised if coming into the season, no Sims on the roster currently right away. It's not they don't want him or they don't feel he could play. It's just they wanted him to develop in the G League. I think that's the route the Knicks probably go, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Because you got Mitch Noel and Taj, and we he's definitely not gonna play in front of them guys. But what they can do, like you said, give him a year in the G League, or even if he make the 15-man roster, he could still be up here on a two-way, or he only could be up here a certain amount of time. But I wouldn't rush that young man. I let that man just get his thing and get himself better and get prepared because I do think he's gonna be part of the future. I love the Knicks right now, the future of that team. I like Obi, I like Quickly, I like Grimes, I like Sim, and McBride. We got them five guys right there that gonna be around for another 3, 4, 5, 6 years. You never know, whatever the case may be. But I do think they got to unless they get involved in some trades down the line in a couple of years because but they talented though, and I think I feel good about the Knicks after the Julius Randle era. I like what the Knicks got, what they doing coming down the pipe. I think Walt Perrin went down there and got them some gems. And here's another thing I like about the McBride and Grimes. They come from coaches who hard knocks like Tom Thibodeau. You know what I mean? Huggins is a tough minded coach. You know what I mean? And he aggressive like that. You know what I mean? So I think that bodes well for them two young players and even Houston. You know what I'm saying? For them some tough guys, man. They know how to coach. They coach hard, and I think it bodes well for them cats in the future because Tom Thibodeau got that same type of mentality, and I think it's going to help them because they had coaches who were pretty tough too, and I think Bob Huggins gets no tougher than that. You know what I mean? So I'm excited about that, but I'm excited about what I've seen, man. And then we move on to the next one. Toronto got a nice little team over there, some young talent as well. Scotty Barnes, Linky, he looked good. A couple of them guys was knocking it down from all over, and Flynn was just knocking it down. So if Flynn looked good for Malachi Flynn looked good for Toronto. But overall, I'm happy with what I've seen. I'm excited about it going forward, man. I think it's going to be fine with the young talent they bringing in there.
Yeah, Malachi Flynn had a hell of a game.
Yeah,
Really good game. Divine. I was very impressed. Of course, second year guard with experience there. It shows Toronto they did a smart move. We all wanted well, not we because we're not Toronto Raptor fans, but we shook our heads when they didn't take Jalen Suggs because they probably knew why. They had a guy who's ready in Malachi Flynn who could come in and know the offense. Second year player in there and just they went and then they went with Scotty Barnes. Maybe they're building something. With with Van Fleet and all that. So it looks like they know what they're doing. Their front office, that's their process But did you see the game on ESPN or on MSG? Because I saw it on ESPN, man. It sure felt like a Toronto Raptor home game.
Yeah, I've seen ESPN two. Yeah, absolutely ESPN two. Yeah, it pretty much did. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, but you know what? Here's what's interesting too. Yeah, now with the Toronto Raptors, they still got Gordon Dragic down there. They brought him in. You still got Van Bleek, Malachi Flynn. So I wonder how that three guard gun rotation going to work out. You can always slide somebody over to the two. Like I said, it's like to me, it's like I think they can play the combo role, especially Dragic. He can play the combo role as well. But they got a nice little team down there. When Ananobi and Barnes, and then you got Scotty Baines. So they're going to be pretty good. I think they're going to be pretty good. I don't think they overtaking us, but I think they're gonna be a pretty good team. But for the Knicks, man, I'm looking forward to the next win, and I hope they do get him Joko some run, man. I would like to see what he got, because even though he's going back over there to play, you still want to be able to see what he got though. And I
Yeah,
think he might get an opportunity to play the next game, got like a first game, and you know, I think they can win the next two. But I did like what I seen when they lost the lead, but they got back in the game. I see a little fight in that little team there, but I like what I seen though. I definitely like what I seen with the talent that we brought in. I'm not even mad at that draft whatsoever, because I do think we got guys who could play for the Knicks in the next 3 or 4 years. Just like RJ and Frank and them. These look like these cats might be around if they don't decide to trade them because they trying to go for something else. You know what I mean? But they do got some pieces to work with talent wise. I like that. But yeah, man. Other than that, it was a good game. It was a good game. We started off pretty well. Like I said, Obi Toppin had a good game. I think Quickly would have had a better game. We probably would have won that just alone, Quickly alone. And then we'll see how Valdoza bounce back on the next game. I think he'd be all right to just the first game. You know what I mean? But overall, I'm happy. I'm happy to see some Nick basketball, and that's what I'm happy about as well. No matter if it's summer league or whatever, I was happy just to see some Nick players and hear the Nick name out there. And then we just got to move on and get ready for the upcoming season. That the summer league thing to be around here so fast, and so we get into all that. That's why I want to get into the all season situation. We had a pretty good off season this summer, man. I'm excited about what the Knicks did. I can't be more happy with the moves they made. I think they did well. They bowled well. So I just think that we had a good thing going on there with the free agency recap. I think the Fournier thing was well. I think the Julius extension was well. Kemba Walker was well. Noel and Alec Burks. I just think that they kept the continuity, and we gained a little bit more firepower. I was just looking at some stats, on Real GM. Somebody put out there, and I was comparing to what I was thinking. Obviously, a lot of these guys' shots going to go down. RJ, his shot protection obviously going to not go. It ain't going to be as high as it was last year, because Fournier is a little bit more of a shooter, more of a scorer than Reggie Bullock. So he, there's going to be times where he put the ball in there and keep going. I think bringing in Kemba Walker, if he's going to be the starting point guard, then I think Julius Randle's shots may go down. But I do like what they have for as what each one of them could do. So I see the Knicks about 75, 80 points in that starting lineup. I really do. I think Julius going to get his 20. I think Fournier, we stay around 17. RJ stay around 17. Even if Kemba give you 15, give you 15, and Mitch give you a 10. I think that's a pretty nice scoring unit right there, man. And then with them guys, we got like Alex Burks and Derrick Rose scores coming off the bench like that. I think our offensive production definitely should be up like at least 106 this year, points per game average. At least close to like 110. I think they got enough there to do that, man, on a regular basis. They got some scores down there. I really think Fournier make a difference. And I do think Kemba Walker make a difference compared to Alpha Payton and Reggie Bullock. You might lose a little bit on the defense end, but you definitely gain a lot on the offense end with close to Alpha Payton and Reggie Bullock than with Fournier and Kemba Walker, cardiac Kemba. So I think our offense is going to be much better than next year. So I'm looking forward to that. But I think free agency was good, and I think we did the right thing this year.
right, right. I see. Yeah, Will, to you answer your question, Coach apparently says Rook is a situation for summer league. I don't know why would you be a situational player. Let me ask. Maybe I ask the chat. If the Knicks were to show and play Ruckus and he really balls out really good, is there a reason they could? Is there? Is there an opportunity they might lose him if they show that he's a good player and since he was drafted where he was drafted at, can another team, offer him a contract if he goes overseas or buy his rights? Because that's kind of weird if they just want to keep him situation. Why are they hiding? What are they hiding? And why are they're not allowing us to see or show us what this young man can bring to the NBA ready or what's his shortcomings as well. It'd be nice to see if he has any shortcomings or what are his shortcomings to work on in the European League. In my opinion on that, Will, just to answer your question on the chat.
Yeah, yeah. I think the reason why that is one reason is because he does please playing. They don't want to take a chance of him getting hurt. He got to go back over that way and play. You know what I mean? Because he is playing for another team, and so I think that's I don't think that's important to them. It's not like he's not cracking. He's not cracking that top 10. He might not even crack the top 5, 15. So I think the Knicks is probably like, listen, instead of throwing him out there today, and that's not saying he won't play. He might go. He might depending on what they might play tomorrow. He might play the next game and play the whole. I don't know. I wouldn't judge that up for one game because I don't know if he just didn't play today or they might be protecting him because he does got another league to go over there and play too. If he they say after 3 games either he stay here or he going back over to Europe where he's playing at. So I can also see them trying to be cautious with that too. But I agree with you. Throw him in there. I think I throw him in there until he got, but I won't make too much of it until that's if he don't play the next game. Then I would really say, okay, you didn't play this game because I think the other Sims didn't play this game.
Yeah, Amiri Sims, Amari
Morris
Sims.
didn't play, so yeah, and I with the 10 minute quarter, I think Tom Thibodeau probably want to really see who I think he know who he want to roll with, and I think he giving all them players that burn. That's what I think what came to me today because if you got Valdoza, um, but Bry, Grimes, and quickly was your main point guard today. Then Valdoza was there, so it was interesting. Like about that because that case they could have threw quickly at the two. You know what I mean? Aboard and let somebody else start, and then he might would have got that burn. So it's interesting to see. I agree with you that you don't want to wonder why that happened on the first game, but I think I'm gonna wait to the second game. If we don't play then that's telling me they not that's he's not even a priority to them right now. As far as you know, you're going to be on this roster. You're going to make this team. You're going to play. I don't think he's even in that category. I'm going to be honest with you. So
Are
that's
they?
why.
Because like Will said, I read his thing here. Yeah, why bring him over for the summer league if he's going to sit? But Roca said it if he likes it. He sees that he's NBA ready. He wants to stay. He doesn't want to go back overseas. So is that a reason that maybe the Knicks are like nudging him? Don't stay. Even if you are good, or decent, we want you to still leave and stash your way because you weren't really on our radar plans. I don't know. I don't know. Is it a game? That's just us speculating. We normally don't do that here. We just trying to see what we see, and maybe that's just trying to put a perspective on that. It'd be interesting to see. And other players didn't play. They had other players that didn't play. We didn't see MJ Walker in the game. Trey Davis didn't play. Reed Travis didn't play. I think Justin Platoon played a little bit of minutes there, and it
Mm-hmm.
was it was a little bit surprising to see. Quickly did play a lot of minutes, and also Obi. So maybe they'll play this game. Next game they won't play, and they'll play the other half of the other players more minutes, and then and maybe they'll rotate on from. It also depends on which team matchup they're going against. It'll be maybe that's who knows how they're envisioning um summer league how they wanna spread the minutes and and it's also true if you're gonna play them. I actually wanted to see more minutes anyway out of who played today, extended amount of minutes. So you wanted to see, what quickly and Obi Toppin learned in playing in the United States select team. What why and I liked it. I liked it. I really am impressed the way Obi came with that. It's more the confidence. He has such a confidence and he was there. And the only thing in the beginning, I was a little bit like Obi, stop going back to the 3 point line. Stop going to the wing and get in there and bang in there. He just. But I think that's gonna go away with time because that's like second nature or your muscle memory. Because I said, man, you need to be crashing those boards. You're 6'10", and you're a power forward. You're not. I don't need you in the wing right now. not in summer league at least. But
Mm.
that was just a little bit of the game, and then he changed. He got aggressive. So I really like to see what I saw with Obi Toppin in his developing all around with his game on that note. Salute to D
Yeah.
Ross.
Yep, yeah, salute, Rob. Salute, salute. Yeah, we mixed it up today. But I like when he opened the name. If you open, you shoot it, though. And I love that. Loved that. When he was open at the three, shoot it. He was shooting it. I mean, that's the name of the game. If you got an open shot, shoot it. Go aggressive, like he said. I like that post move. That show he got his post. Yeah, I know he had that nice spin post move. He had, and he was tough inside that paint. You know what I mean? When he got bumped, he threw it up there. He got his and ones and. He looked good, man. I think you're gonna get to see a little bit of the Dayton Obi, man. I think he got a whole summer. He's been working on this game the whole summer, like all of them. And now to be able to go to summer league, get you 4 or 5 games of running like organized basketball per se, and not scrimmages and all that. And you'll see what he made of. And I think he'll have a good year. I like that 24-8, and like I said, if he would have hit two or three more threes, he had a monster game. He had like 30-8 or something like that. But I like his rebound. I like his intensity. I want to see him look at the shot blocking a little more. I want to see him because I think with his athleticism, he could block more shots at that level. I think he can, and I think that got to be just part of his game. He got to get better at. But for the most part, I think Obi did. I like what I seen tonight. I'm happy about that because I think he's gonna. If Obi can take that 4 points up and move it up this year to 10, 12, that's awesome for on that team. You know what I mean? To get 12 points in the amount of minutes that he's only gonna play. I think that would be a D Ross Grimes, nice shot. He got a good shot. D Ross. He was in there today. He had to open the game with a three. He got a nice stroke. Other than that, pretty much average game. I won't say subpar. I say average. He Ross, but he looked good though. His shot looked good. They all got to get into a rhythm. You know what I mean? It's their first game back playing organized basketball, like I said, and they just, but he looked good, so for sure.
Grimes got to get used to the NBA 3 point line. He
Mm-hmm.
looks like he's not ready for the NBA 3 point line yet, and then that's fine. That's okay because that's what summer leagues for, training camp, or in between summer league and training camp. He knows what he needs to work on, and that's going to show. And when come in if it's okay for him to fail now in summer league, than fail in in training camp regular season. And I think he's gonna be. I think Grimes was good. I like his hands. And McBride, both of them, their hands and they're moving around in the perimeter was something that I really like to see. And I saw that because it's hard to teach instincts and defensive instincts and prowess. And they were pretty good. They were active and they were good. And that's not really getting into work with Thibodeau's system quite. And it was still very active. So I said, you know what? That's good because the coaching staff is only going to make them better and put them in better. And I think with time, his shot will start falling. D. Ross, Grimes should he'll get used to the NBA three, and his legs will get accumulated to, and I think he'll be okay. He was that he was average. You want more. You wasn't too right, nothing to write home about, but it wasn't. That there's improvement. That's good. There's a lot of room for improvement, which you got to be excited about Grimes going forward.
Yeah, yeah. He. I didn't see. I think he'd be on a roster.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He'd be situational. If you look at that starting five, that and the second five, I don't see nobody in that second five. None of them cats overtaking them. So yeah, him and Grimes. I think Grimes and McBride would be on part of that 15-man roster for sure. I guess Kevin Knox. That'd be them would be a 11, 12, 13, whatever order you want to put them in. And then it leaves 2 more roster spots. Valdoza, I guess, would be the 14th on that roster spot. When they might they might let him come up on a 2-way. Like I said, up and down, whatever the case may be. But I think down the line they're gonna turn that into a regular contract for sure. That young man got he's a baby Mitchell Robinson with a little bit more. He showed me a little bit more offensive ability right now because they allowed him to do it. But make no mistake, I can see the future with him and Mitchell Robinson though. I can see Mitchell Robinson starting and that's what I love about the signing and free agency and Jericho Sims next year developed with. He's backing up Mitchell Robinson, and we got Noel and Nerlens them in a good trade package. You know what I mean? Whatever to get that cat we need down here to really make it happen even more. But that's not a bad thing to have. With Jericho Sims, I think the young man gonna. I like his foot. I like his foot game. He know how to stay on that pivot foot real good. And, I was like, wow, this cat not just keep staying on that pivot foot, then go up and just without traveling and still throw it down. I'm like, this cat is like, and that last dunk, um, that kid is ferocious, bro. So I like what I seen out of him. I think he got a bright future with the Knicks. They did good, man. I'm happy with what I seen. And like I said, I think hopefully we get to see my man Rokas tomorrow or the next day whenever they play again. And but like I said, a lot of them guys, that's the reason why they was picked where they was picked at. But I do think Sims is a sleeper. I think he's a sleeper, and I do want to see Rokas, man. I want to see what that cat got because if he got something special, then you can make him part of the 15-man roster. Give him his deal and put him on a roster. Now, like he becomes situational like everybody else. You know what I mean? That he, I don't foresee him moving out no Derrick Rose and no Kemba Walker minutes. And like I said, with so between him, Valdoza, McBride, whatever, he can go if his game that nice. They might put him at the three and then Wade Valdoza. You know what I mean? It could work either way. You know what I mean? If Rokas is that good, he might make the third string backup point guard. Excuse me, and then they might say, you know what, and Valdoza, we gonna do this or do that or whatever, or McBride or somebody. So it's not a bad thing to be in with the Knicks, man. If you got talent like that, you think they all got a chance to make it, then that's a beautiful thing to have. You worry about when they don't got a chance to make it. If these cats got a chance to make the Knicks, I think that's a good thing. You know what I mean? And so we'll see how he go. We'll see how I go with him. I think he might have a chance to still make it here, unless we play in the next game. So yeah, I'm dying to see it though. Yo, but salute to the chat, D. Rods, Will, man. Quiet Sunday night, and everybody probably else out there they'll pop on sooner or later, man. But yeah, that was a good summer league game. Even though we lost the game, I enjoyed seeing the cats play. I really did. I thought they was but you can also see where they how young they are too. Because it was something like I seen Grimes on a couple of plays where I didn't see his effort full on the defense part because there was a couple of balls he could have win at and it's bounced right in front of him and they didn't lunge at it or anything. But that comes with just being your first game back and everything like that and getting used to the what it takes to play on this level, man. But I'm not throwing those stones at just the first game and everybody get lack of days to go on certain plays because you're still trying to figure it all out. But other than that, I had no problem with none of them. Other than quickly was that he just was off running a point. He got to keep trying to get better at it because he's so used to scoring. He's so much of a scorer when he's running a point. He might don't realize that is a nice open pass right here. You know what I mean? But his mind is always thinking shot because he's been doing that for the last couple of years. Shoot first. Shoot first. And I think that's just what you get with quickly. If they wanted him developing as a point guard, he's going to be a shoot first point guard. I think that's what you got to expect out of him. I don't know no other way to say that he'd be a shoot first point guard, but then in the end of the game, he knocked down a couple of nice threes. So let's see how they work out BS the next game. Hopefully they bounce back and tie this thing up 1-1 in the summer league.
Well, they don't play until Wednesday. Tomorrow's
Mm-hmm.
practice will be interesting to see how they're gonna go for set. What I want to see going forward, set plays. I want to see some set plays with both Sims because you got Amir Sims and you got Jericho Sims. And also Obi Toppin. I want to see pick and rolls. I want to see the point guard. Set plays. I didn't see a lot of that, and I'm not gonna overreact because it's only game one. It's only game one of the summer league, and they're kind of the first game was kind of like a touch and feel freestyle type of game, talent wise. And they kept saying it in the broadcast how it's important to have a point guard in summer league to win and to develop and set plays. And I want to see that going forward. I want to be able to see set plays. I want to see give and go, pick and rolls, screens, and all that basic fundamental basketball to see how these guys is going to achieve. And that's the only way they're going to crack if they want to crack the rotation. How to do just be really great at
Mm-hmm.
fundamentals basketball, moving the ball around, passes, all that. Because I think if they really want to crack this again, if they really want to crack the Knicks rotation or even getting playing minutes under Tom Thibodeau, I think those are the things they got to be perfect year one, in my opinion. And I think that starts. And I think they need to get in good habits and prepare them in good habits in summer league. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what I want to see going forward on that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I agree. And I think they will. I think they start putting together. So Wednesday, we'll see what they come back with, a bounce back. But it was good to see him out there for sure. It was good to see him. Just to see what we got there, and I'm happy with that. Like I said, even coming off this free agency thing, we the all season. All season was pretty good. I mean, I wasn't mad at the all season. I liked the way it went. We took another step forward as an organization. To me, I mean, I think first by bringing back Scott Perry, then we brought in some good free agents and did use the money wisely. Well, we brought in some good draft picks. Then we brought in some free agents and kept the fluctuation with the money. We didn't give up no long deals, no crazy deals. Contracts were movable. They definitely can go um, to another team if need be. I think nobody would have a problem having Noel or Alice Burks because the other team did want them to sign them in free agency. That kind of bodes well for us because they players that will help another team, and I don't think another team will have a problem if they need to trade for them as in a package deal. I think they know they can help them. I do think they can help them. I do think Alex Burks can help a team. I do think Noel can help a team. All these guys, Derrick Rose, all of them. So that's the beauty of the offseason to me is that we did the free agent thing and got better, and we also the players that we got better with, they good movable players down the line. If we need to go out to something that's going to take us to a next level. So if it's at the trading deadline or something come across the wire that's going to help the Knicks just catapult us to another level, then you know what? Then you got some assets there that can get that done. So for the all season, I was happy with that. Overall, I was just happy with the whole thing. I think we did a good job this all season compared to even like last year. I didn't have a problem last year because I got us 41 wins. We taking them steps to get better and better. We brought in this type of talent last year, enough to make us competitive. Now we brought in a little bit more talent this year to try to make us a little bit more ultra competitive. And I think that's going to bode well for us because I do think Noel's and Alex Burks going to play a better role this year. The second time around, I like what I've seen so far for the Knicks this off season.
The off season moves that they did, they signed their own players. We signed our own players back. We made an upgrade at the three, and also Kemba Walker. But the only thing is now the reports that Kemba Walker isn't 100% healthy. Yeah, and that's why Luca Valdoza isn't going anywhere. Despite the fact that he didn't look so great in the Olympic team or so forth, they spent money on him and they invested in him, and that's an insurance policy, I think. And also with with Rose's minutes, so I think they're going to go into there with actually four if you count quickly point guards on the roster. Going forward, I think that's and kudos to the organization for signing their players. Kudos for them for recognizing and getting Julius Randle on the cheap. All Star money. They gave him his money, but I'll be honest with you, it was a steal. It was on a cheap deal. It was a smart move. They also restart because we've seen the major superstars that was supposed to be the darling of 2022 re-upping with their teams. Kevin Durant signed an extension. You saw Steph Curry. Although we knew they weren't coming to the Knicks, but you never know. It's always if you have money, money talks and laundry walks. That's the way whether to be PG on the program. And but since they started signing their contract with their respective teams and staying up there, unfortunately, they're getting off the board. So I like the fact that we're bringing continuity and familiarity back to the organization with the same players that know Thibodeau's system. We know their strength and shortcomings, and we're just adding more unknown or strengthening us in the three position with Fournier. I think Fournier after this Olympic run is going to come back pretty good, pretty strong. I think he's going to have he's going to be in the bright lights of New York, and I think he's going to embrace that. And I think he's going to play really well for the organization. I think he's going to have a good year one. He's going to fit in nicely with the team. And it's up to, but I personally think if we're going to take the next step and go on to the second round or so forth, it has to start with our main guy, Judas, with RJ Barrett, actually. RJ Barrett has to take that next step to borderline or all star level. If not, we're just gonna stay stuck and it's gonna be repeat, rinse, and redo. And there's nothing wrong with that. If we continue and we give us an exciting season like we did last season this year, I'm all right with it because it's a process of growth. But we actually want to see a little more growth to that borderline all star, that borderline superstar in RJ Barrett now going forward, in my opinion.
Yep. I agree. But I do think the Knicks. I think they're gonna have a real wonderful season. Actually, I haven't been so hyped about a season like this in years. I mean, literally. I mean, when the last time you could say, I'm really so psyched because I like what they did down there. Like I said, we had we had a top three defense, but our offense was in the low 20s. So now I think you don't, even if you brought our defense down to top 10, but you brought our offense up to top 15, you know what I mean, or close to top 15 in the league. That's half of the league. So now we putting in work with half of the league. We still got a top 10 defense. I think that bodes well for New York. I really do. I think the floor space in New York is going to be incredible. Because even though this injury, Kemba Walker, he done had it for the last 6, 7 years. Ain't nothing new. Everybody know about the knee. But I look at what he did with his 43 games in Boston last year, 19 a game. You know what I mean? Hey, if the man played a certain amount of minutes, but he's still going to give you a certain amount of production. And I think he's a hard cover. I think they'll do it right. I think they'll monitor the way he get down, and then he got a good guy come behind him. The Knicks won't hesitate to overwork Kemba Walker because they do got Derrick Rose back there. So I'm not too concerned about that because arthritis is arthritis and all that. It ain't going nowhere. It is what it is. But he's been playing, the last 7 years on an all-star level. So but I'm gonna count on. I think Kemba Walker's gonna be wonders for the Knicks if we come into the bright lights of Broadway. Cardiac Kemba back in the Garden with the fans at MSG. Them Randall, RJ, Fournier down there knocking down shots, man. That's just gonna be nice. I'm psyched about it because like I said, thinking about the last time the Knicks had a team like this. When the last time we had a point guard, even if he's not all star now, but he's a talented person. He got talent, superior talent than a lot of people that we ever had in that position. And the guy coming behind him is a superior talent than a lot of guys we have. So I'm happy with that. Fournier, like I said, man, I think he just was the ultimate piece that we needed for that team. We needed a cat who can stretch the floor, but also can put the ball on the floor and go hard. You know what I mean? He's not ready to build defensively, but he does make efforts. He competes. Evan Fournier, he competitive. That's what I like about him, man. I always liked his game when he was in Orlando. He stay aggressive. He would go to the paint, try to oof it on you, whatever. So I think that's a big. He's a big upgrade offensively compared to Reggie Bullock. And I really believe that. So you're gonna lose Reggie Bullock's defense, and salute to my man Reggie Bullock, man. Once a Nick, always a Nick. Hope you go down there in Dallas and do well. But no question in my mind that Evan Fournier can get buckets. And when like he hot too. So I mean, I think there were two great acquisitions. And then like I said, like you said with the RJ situation, RJ is one of them guys that I don't worry about because it's in his pedigree. His dad was a ball player. His mother was a track player. He come from a stock that's they about drive. You know what I mean? They drive. His mother made the St. John's. His father played for, they made it places. So he got that work ethic in him. He got work ethic that you won't believe because that's how his parents was. So RJ is only going to get better. I mean, he's in the gym because constantly, all the time, and I think there's going to be a big jump for him. It's going to be different because now he got more guys who can put the ball on the floor. But I do think Julius Randle, and Julius Randle and Kemba Walker on Fournier, that's a pretty tough matchup. A matchup when you look at a team on the floor with four players like that, all four of them dudes could put the ball on the floor. Every one of them. They ain't like Reggie Bullock. All four of them guys can literally put the ball on the floor and go to the hole. RJ, Kemba, Randle, and Fournier, they all could do that. And I just think that's going to open up the offense for the Knicks real good. Because I think now, when them cats penetrate that line, it's either going to be Lob City to mention them, or it's going to be kick out three, or just a basic layup and ones. That's the type of team they put down there. And now that they don't have the kind of sag off for Alpha Payton, now they people can't sag off him like he Alpha Payton now. Back in the day, last year, early this year, they would just say, okay, we're going to back off this cat and try to double team. They can't do that no more. And I'm so happy with that. So I do like what they did offensively. I think it's going to come around. I do think we're going to score more. And with Mitch coming back healthy, I think this bodes well for us. So I'm excited about these all season moves. I think I'm really excited to see that. Beat. I think we're gonna be a good team, man. I think it's 52 wins for me for sure.
Yeah, we have. I guess we have someone in Hebrew. It's Hebrew, but I don't know how to say your name. It says fans in the Euro basketball are crazy compared to fans in the NBA. In Europe basketball, smoke flares and throw versus all the fans. Shout out and sing the whole basketball hails and shake. Okay, that was a weird tweet there.
Hmm. But
Salute, oh, shalom. We appreciate you on the program with us, my friend. And I appreciate you on here with us here. Welcome to Nick's Real Talk. Hit that like and subscribe, and be part of the family. Absolutely.
yes,
Um,
indeed. Yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah.
the only thing, Divine, that I was going to say about the guys that they could put all the ball on the court and they could create their own shot is I don't want to see isolation in basketball. I want them to move the ball. I want them to be able to create it and put other players in better positions. Just because they could um, create their own shots and put the ball on the ground, I just don't want no hero ball or isolation. That's all my little bit of a concern with with them going forward. But if they're all hitting shots and they could trust one another, which I don't see why not, they're going to be dangerous, offensively.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not concerned about that one because that's not New York Knicks basketball. They didn't do. They don't do. Don Thibodeau don't play like that. And that's what I liked about Derrick Rose last year when he was getting in the middle. I mean, in the Knicks, they look for good shots. You know what I mean? And that's amazing to be able to think like that with the offense they had last year because it's important to put that ball on the floor. Just if you get in that paint, like I was saying, you can either kick out to a three or you can either through the lob to Mitch. You know what I mean? That's why I reiterated that these are the options when you can put the ball and get in that hole. And you got four options opposed to one. And I just think that these guys are unselfish ball players. I don't. I think Kemba's like that. I think Fournier. I think Tom Thibodeau. That's the way they play basketball. That's why Reggie. Look at Randall and Reggie Bullock last year. That's what they do. They get that ball in that paint, and if somebody open, kick it to them. Bang. Obi over there. Obi was letting them fly last year, and that's why their 3-point percentage was so good last year because when them cats got in that lane and everybody started collapsing on Julius Randle, they all had open perimeter shots, and so yeah, and I think that's just the way they play basketball. And I think that's what's going to be so deadly. Like they get in that once you get in that lane, you about to cause havoc because now you got more options. I just think that them cats could do that, and it's important to be able to put that ball on the floor too when you're getting down to 5 seconds in the shot clock, and you like you seen today when quickly threw that ball to Valdoza with like 2 seconds on the shot clock, he had to jack up a three. Now that was somebody with like maybe a RJ Barrett and them, they could have went to the middle, you know what I mean, and or created a foul or something like that. So I think that's what I like about these guys being able to put the ball on the floor. They're not standing on the perimeter, getting played. You know what I mean, getting that hole, create something, and find an open man. And I think they're going to be like that this year for sure.
Yeah, I read our Hebrew friend wrote there. When are the Knicks bringing in a player from Yugoslavia? And there's a lot of talent in Baltic countries like Serbia, Bosnia, Slovenia, Croatia. We drafted Rokas, Lithuanian player. And with now that the NBA is expanding and showing with the Olympic performance all around, don't be surprised if the Knicks will have scouting in the Euro leagues and in those leagues, in the Yugoslavian league and the Bosnian league, to see. We have was a 7 draft pick coming up in the future in the next few
Mm-hmm.
years. Don't be, they'll have their scouts out there in Euro, checking out and seeing, and if there's anyone that they need on the radar that they need to fit the need of the team. It don't matter where they come from. If it's from your part of Eastern Europe, they will scout them and they will bring them in there, and they showed that in the past that they're not hesitant to bring in the international player to the New York Knicks. So yeah, that's a good question. I appreciate that. Yeah, we'll see if they bring someone from your Eastern Europe in the next few years, because we have plenty of draft picks, and we also, the development of the G League. It's also an occasion for them to come over if they're not quite ready yet for the NBA game, but or just leave him overseas like we have with Rokas. He's gonna probably return and develop there and play over there where he's more comfortable surroundings. and settings and develop. That's a good question. I appreciate that.
Yeah. I think that also will coming off Olympic year too. You know what I mean? See, a lot of people got to see these players playing Olympics as well. So yeah, you will get them in talent. I mean, you look at guys like Luka Doncic and all them guys. You know, they get here. You know what I mean? It's they do the NBA does well with it with the international ball play, and they do real well. And it's all about timing and having the right people in the right place at the right time. And if that's the case, and then I think they get somebody from out of there for sure. Because they have a couple of Croatian snipers in the NBA, believe it or not. You know what I mean? Salute God and Knicks podcast. Salute to my
Luke,
brother.
don't move. What's going on,
Salute,
man?
salute, salute. Yeah, I can't pronounce the name. I'm sorry, man. But I think they will have some more of them guys in the parts of the country. It's just a matter of time, And I think they're expanding real well in the European ball, so I think they get here.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, we have plethora of talent, and if we scout and we believe in our international scouts, we can see. We'll see players there. We already had a few from Latvia. We seen that. We have international players who are French. We have expanded. If they have talent, I don't see why not the Knicks won't bring them in here. If they're talented and they're still in need of the scouting report that the team needs, the Knicks will have no issue of bringing players from Eastern European or international ball players in there. So it's becoming a global phenomenon, a global scouting game. You can find talent all sides. Now we have NBA Africa. We're getting all those talented young men from Africa to come and play in the league, and develop a league out there, and also the Euro game. So it's going to be interesting to see all the different international players on up and coming in the scouting. Now it's going to be now the scouting department really gonna make their money's worth because now there's a plethora of talent to pick just everywhere,
Mm.
not just the collegiate United States, but around the world. We see the influence and influx of Canadian basketball players in the league, and so forth. So it just keeps growing and it keeps growing and it just gets more exciting because the bar keeps rising of the talented players in the league. We're about to make we're about to make a Serbian the 200 million dollar contract in Luka Doncic. He's going to be 200. Whoever thought that he was going to be a $200 million man. That's phenomenal. So the league is expanding globally, and it's good times to be part of it. And also, the Knicks are good too, so it helps out also to see the international flair around the league.
Mm. Yeah. It's basketball is global now, man. So that's for sure, man. And and I remember back in the day, me coming up, man, watching Sabonis and them guys, and all of them. It was some good cats coming out of there, man. Some tough cats from that part of the country, from the part of the world.
Divac,
Yup.
Petrovic. Wow, we could sit here. Rick Smits,
Mm.
from the Dutch. We could put a lot of different names, out there that we're like, yeah,
Oh yeah, Marshallonis. That's what I love. My man
you
Marshallonis.
go.
Yeah, Marshallonis was tough. Yeah, man. So I think that's gonna happen, man. But so look out for that. But like getting back to overall, man, the summer league it started off pretty good. I'm not worried about the laws, but I do like like I said, what we did in free agency. I think we got a good chance to be a good team. I think we better than we were last year. See now, I know a lot of people say the Eastern got better, but we got better too. You know what I mean? So that means that if they got better, and we got better, then we should be where we at. And I do think Nick's going to surprise a lot of people when that offense is clicking. I think then you got Derrick Rose and Alex Burks coming off the bench with. I just think that's gonna be crazy, man. And Toppin got a game going, and Obi giving you what he giving, and Noel. You got Taj back there, man. You got these young guys here that's there. I just think it's gonna be nice. So I'm looking forward to that. I predict a 52. I'm gonna stay with that. I just think that Knicks gonna be a team that you're gonna have to really play good defense to beat because they got cats. Everybody in that starting lineup other than Mitch they can get it. I mean, they can get you points, buckets, assists, rebounds. I'm concerned about the height a little bit. You know what I mean? With that's a pretty short lineup right there. Other than but I do Randall because he positions himself so well when it's coming to rebounding on a defense boards. him and Mitchell, I'm not worried about. If Fournier and RJ are pretty good rebounder when he need to be. So it's gonna have to definitely be a team collective thing, man. When it comes to that starting lineup rebounding wise. But I think we'll be able to handle it. And Will said looking forward to Friday game, Pistons and Cade. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting as well. Yeah, but for the most part, I think I like what we did, and I think we just got to make sure we play our defense because now, like I said, we gave up a little bit to get a little bit. But I do think Nick's gonna be a fun team to watch. I think the Garden gonna be rocking this year. I mean, like I said, I think it's gonna be a good place to get down. Now, like I do think we're gonna be able to get to that where we want to get to. We just play hard like we did last year and keep that team defense together, and I think we'll be good to go.
Yeah. So when you mentioned about the rebounding, that's why this when we opened up a little bit about the summer league, I don't know if you recall when I said I saw Obi in some bad habits, going back, getting the ball and staying on the perimeter 3 point line, and I kind of want to see him go to the basket and attack and go in there. And that's why that's the one of my concern was that I don't want him to I want him to be attacking the glass and trying to go for that, not just the defensive rebounding, but the offensive glass as well. Although I don't think this team is going to miss a lot of shots, but it's always good to have that threat offensively, that put back, and having Obi going to the paint, going cutting to the basket, playing near, below, or around the rim it would behoove his talent and his athleticism for him to go going forward. So I don't want to see him too much staying behind the line, and I would like although he can hit the three, but I think they're gonna need that because I think they're gonna missing, like you said, sizes and rebounding, and that's been a concern from when they put this roster together going forward was the lack of rebounding because going again this year, can we see Nolan's Noel be such a defensive rebounding machine like last year, or knowing that he has another year under those knees? And he was a little banged up, and can he hold up? And that's a little bit of a concern going into this. But I like the fact that they're bringing everybody back together because they all know each other's assignments, where they're going to be defensively. But the rebounding aspect is a little bit of my concern heading going into this new season.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's something we got to work on collectively. But I like know what's interesting to me, like Obi to me, he defense rebounding real well, and that and when he on the offense, obviously, depending on it looked like the Knicks like to spread everybody around the perimeter, and so I don't is it because somebody if you put Julius at the post for a minute and if there's no cutting and slashing, then I think the Knicks are designed to keep everybody on the perimeter until Julius Randle finishes doing what he's gonna do, and whatever he decide to do, if he pass that ball out, then that person who he get a ball to, they're gonna have to do what they got to do because I want to see them post Obi. I like Obi in the post. You know what I mean? Send him a couple of plays in the post and let him work. You know what I mean? I think he's that strong. He's at that athletic, and then like that post he did today, that nice base. And once he spin, he already going up in the air. Nine out of 10, he's gonna be a foul or whatever. So he make the basket, and unless the person is a shot blocker because he jumps that high. So I like when I seen in the post today, and I like the way when he went in that inside, when he took that bump, he just like, nah, I got bigger shoulders than you. He just threw it up there and the ball, went in. But it's gonna be a plus. And getting better is a plus with that three ball too. Because can you imagine Obi Toppin shot the three ball like Knox? That boy, and with that inside game that he has, so I was happy to see him launching him because it is about the development, and he got a good stroke. I think it's a matter of time for it to start going down from like RJ. RJ shot 30 something, 32, 33 in rookie year. His next year he shot almost 40%. I think it's all about the process. I think Obi got a good stroke. He just got to keep working on it. And next thing you know, he'd be shooting 37, 38% in a year or two. So I'm happy to see that he's still working on it because one thing I'm happy about Obi Toppin, the threes that he take, they open shots. You notice you don't never see Obi force up a three. He'll take that ball when it's open, and that's what I call a good shot. So he just got to get consistent with it. Salute Elton Lee. Salute my brother.
Lee, what's going on, man?
Salute Elton. Yeah, I think he just got to get consistent with it. But I like that he shoot it when he open. He not forcing it, And they play. I was happy today. BX. I'm just happy because it's a step by step process. He looked like the Dayton Obi Toppin today, and that's what I was happy to see for sure.
And you gotta like it definitely with him there. And I think quickly, just to calm your nerves with everyone who was just on game one. I think quickly, I think it was just combination of the gym, the rims. I think he'll be fine too. He
Yep.
also, I think he'll be fine there too. And if anything, the worst thing that can happen is out of the summer league, if he continues to play the way he's at, then we know he's really not really ready to be a point guard. I think
Mm-hmm.
and that's all, and that's okay with that. As long as we know it now in summer league going forward, that if he's not a point guard ready, he's not point guard. He's a shooting guard. Maybe that's what looks there. Grimes looking like Marcus Smart. Well, if he could come like that, Mountain Lee, man, ooh, yeah, we'll take that on this team. What's going on, Big Chino? Salute, salute.
You know.
Quickly better get his act together. He'll be fine, but I think it was just the first game combination of all those different things. We seen this guy have ice water veins at the Garden and going forward, and every year in his career and in every level of competition, he's gotten better. He gotten better. He gets better and better with when he's a gym rat. So you guarantee he probably after the courts, well, that they kept playing back to back games, but somewhere he was working on his shooting. Guaranteed he's not gonna have a performance like that next game out. Knowing the way quickly is and the gym rat that he is, I don't see that.
Yeah. He'd be good. Now, like I said, the Knicks got a good problem. They roster literally. They know it is built the way it's supposed to be built. They got their starters. They got five depth players who deserve to get minutes, who could play NBA basketball. And let's say if it's Derrick Rose quickly, Alex Burks, Obi Toppin, and Noel. Then anything after that is situational anyway. So these young guys, you know what? That's why I want to see what they could do when they develop like Sims and all these guys. They're gonna get in when the Knicks got a 15-point league or something like that. You know what I mean? Because you already know how Tibbs is with his rotation. He playing 10 players. And if you look at the 10 players, none of them guys is in that rotation unless they go in there and beat somebody out. And I don't. So that means that Grimes going to have to beat out Alex Burks. Grimes and McBride going to have to beat out Derrick Rose. Emmanuel quickly. They're going to have to beat them dudes out. You know what I mean? So I really don't see that happening because the Knicks is going for a further playoff run. But if them cats, I guess if they deserve to play, they'll play. That's what I would say. If they good enough, them guys gonna play. But I do think they're gonna be bright for the future, though. Man, them kids, especially Sims. Man, listen. Like I said earlier, BX. Next year, you can move Nerlens Noel's contract, and you give Mitch Nerlens money and a little more. You know what I mean? Now you got to me, you got Mitch and Sims at the five. That's not a bad problem to have. And next year, if you had to move Noel in the trade because they only got a two with a team option. But let's say at the trading deadline, this kid start develop next year, or next year, this cat Sims ready to take another step, and they in a good place. So I think R.J. Barrett, Sims, and Grimes and these guys, they kind of different to me than Frank and all these guys. Cause I do see a lot of they do got things I didn't see in them. A lot of guys that's they got grittiness. See, Grimes and McBride got what Knox and Frank didn't have, toughness. I didn't think them guys were tough. You know what I mean? But these two guys are pretty tough guys, and they come from tough programs. So I kind of like that going forward. They get to all three of them guys, and hopefully Rokas, if he pan out, they get to grow the next organization for the next 4 years. And I think that's gonna be fun to watch. I think they're gonna develop into some good players.
And salute to Pudge. Nice. NYPD's looking for Jericho right now. Yeah,
Facts.
he caught a body. He caught a body underneath there,
Right,
man.
right. Yeah, but a
Yes,
good
he
one.
did,
Real
Pudge.
talk.
Nice, very good one. Good one there. Yeah, they with the development, we're not asking for these kids to take somebody's playing time. We're just asking them to do their job and develop properly. When called
Mhm.
upon, um, get into that rhythm of doing things correctly. Like I told you, I was saying a couple segments ago, that's what we want these young rookies. That's why I want to see them get become really great at fundamentals. This G League, this summer league experience, I want them to get fundamental. Every one of these kids that even if the ones that are not gonna, we know that are not gonna be on the Knicks roster, but I just want them to all get in that good habit of coaching and becoming fundamentally sound all around with the passing, with the shooting, making smart. I want to see smart IQ plays out there. And if they don't have the talent for it, so be it. I just want them to see them doing the smart plays, doing the right basketball plays, and getting into good habits. So when it's their numbers get called upon on the Knicks, and they will be utilized. These kids will be utilized this year. Not everyone is going to play an Ironman for 82 game season. There's going to be injuries. There's going to be nicks and bumps. Unfortunately, COVID-19 is still running around, and there's going to be guys on COVID protocol list, and you're going to need to rely on these guys. So the point of the story is to get these guys in the right development and the right mindset and the right habits of winning basketball, of Knicks winning basketball. What is it
Mhm.
needed? Your do your job, your rotational assignment. If you're going to close out, so forth on defense, and not just on the defense, on offense. Move the ball around. Don't be stagnant. Learn how to do the picks. Or if you're on defense and know how to sacrifice your body to get that offensive charge, that's how you're gonna. As a rookie, going forward, that's how you're gonna get more minutes on the court. Doing those intangibles and those things that drives that really not drives but indulges Coach Thibodeau and coaching staff to give you more minutes and get in that circle of trust going forward. That's what these rookies should be trying to work on and going and developing going forward.
Yeah, yep, absolutely. Um, I think it's the stage is set well, and I think that's a good thing. They're gonna have enough time to sit there and learn and develop and be a part of this thing. That's why I want them to be on that roster up here with these guys. Yeah, you go down there. If you're not gonna be up here, go down there and get your grind on, get your skill set up. Go down to G League and get your skill set up, and and then once you do that, if you called upon to come out to the big leagues and on the NBA, you come up here, and then you really go out here and be ready to fill in that gap. You know what I mean? And but I think these are the type of guys that can get it done. I'm with Franchilla. Jericho Sims gonna be a problem, bro. That cat is. I just think his game. I'm not even only talking about the athleticism. I watched one play when he got the ball in the paint. He got good foot movement. He did not walk. He took a pump fake, took another head. He just went up strong and just threw it. I'm like, there ain't too
Yeah,
many cats. Him and Mitch could do that. See, Noel not like that. Noel don't have that strength to go up there when you got four guys around him or three guys and just bang it. Him and Mitch could do that. You know what I mean? That's what I like about that tandem going forward. I think he's going to be a part of this thing, man. I like his game. I like his energy. Once he get comfortable, get used to these big NBA bodies and get used to these guys. Yeah, you're right, Lee. He felt comfortable, man. He really did. I like that, man. Yeah, you're
Jericho
right,
didn't
man.
look Jericho didn't look like that goofy center. You know how like they have sometimes like that when they're at center they're a little bit goofyish, like sloppy or like they're like too big for their bodies or I don't know. It's like compare him to, and I'm not comparing them, but to and offensively when they have the ball in his hand, he looked comfortable, not like Nolan's Noel. You could tell Nolan Noel's gonna butterfinger the ball out of his hands, and Jericho Sims looked so comfortable, like he looked there like a polished NBA vet, man.
hmm Yeah, he looked like to me an athletic version of Jared Allen.
Okay, okay.
Athletic Jared Allen. I mean, literally athletic. Cause Jared Allen ain't getting up like that. That dude is gonna be nice, bro. I'm so excited about him. I really am. I think that cat is gonna be so special. And we're gonna go to a segment break. We're gonna bring Queen Steph in the building, man. But yeah, that young man gonna be something, bro. I can't wait till this cat get fully developed in another year. But I'll be real. We're talking about. We'll be right back. Man, salute. Yo, salute. Knicks Real Talk. We back. Divine Brown Sports Jedi. We got the Queen in the building. You already know what it is. What up, sister? How you doing?
I'm doing well. Can you hear me?
I can. You sound real clear, very well.
All right, awesome. I'm doing well. It's been a minute. Good to see you and and
Likewise,
and BX
likewise.
Jetty.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, man.
Hello,
What do you think about that
Stephanie. How are
game?
you?
I'm good. How are you?
A pleasure to speak with you always. Welcome
Always,
aboard. Yes,
always.
yes. How was
I
your
don't.
summer
When was the
vacation
last
going?
time I was here?
You was here. You held it
You
down with.
missed me. When
Oh
when you
yes.
came on, I was sick.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I'm not that far back. I'm like, how
No,
far do I gotta
no.
go to catch up? Okay.
No, you good, sister. You stay in the loop. But yeah, man. I like what I seen today, and something I'll just we and me in the chat will talk about that. I like what I seen. It's not really about the win and losses to me. It's what I see out there, what them cats are made of. I like
Absolutely.
Obi's game today. He had a nice, good game today. Energy was good. Sim is gonna be a problem down the line. That's not a bad problem to have. And I think Grimes and McBride, I just think the Knicks got some young talent down there that, they might not crack that rotation, but they're going to be here for the next 4 years. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of excited about that.
Yeah. Just wanted to shout out the chat.
Yep.
I thought the Knicks drafted very well and they look good. They look good. They looked they was what we expected, very good on the ball defense. And they were able to hit their shots. Grimes, didn't shoot that well today, but you could tell that his form, the shots he took, he's a really, really good shooter. If he can get that, when they close out really hard on him, he faked. He took two steps in and he shot the ball and it was like an air ball. But the
Mhm.
form was good and
Yeah.
it was the movement was really sharp. If he can get that, that's going to bode well for us. So I'm excited about them. And listen, Sims, Josh put me on, aka Uncle Fulio, put me on to him before the draft, and I watched film on him and I loved him, and he hasn't disappointed. I mean, sometimes when I'm watching the the college tape on these guys, sometimes it's hard for me to understand, like, why is this guy being marked here and these other guys are being marked so much earlier? And a lot of times it's because of upside, right? I
Mhm.
mean, Sims was at Texas, Mobamba came and left, Kai Jones came and left, Jackson Hayes came and left. And I
Mhm.
did read somewhere that, they have more upside, and Jericho Sims seemed to have didn't really progress that much through his college years.
Mhm.
But if this is what he is right now, I'm happy.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
this is somebody who's going to rebound for you. He's a lob threat. He and when you see his rebounds, like, this is
Yeah.
strong rebounds. Did you
Mhm.
see when he got the ball in the off that offensive rebound and he
Boy.
like bodied people out of the way and then laid it back up? Like, he has this grown man strength.
Mhm.
So if he doesn't get much better than this, I'm okay. If you're a rim runner and you can rebound the ball. The other thing I like about him is his ability to play out on the perimeter, even if it's for a second or two or three, until the guys can get back on defense. That bodes well for us because to me, that's an underrated part of Mitch game.
Right.
That's
Right.
an underrated part of his game. So I'm so happy with all of the rookies, but I'm very happy with Sims as well.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be. I was telling the guy a few earlier. I'm like, this is what I see. I see next year, Noel contract movable. That money they gave Noel, they're gonna give it to Mitch. Maybe a little bit more, maybe 2,000, 2 million more, 3 million more. I think Mitch and Sims is here to stay. I just think that's what it's gonna be. I think they get that young man another year to get developed. And like I said, that's not a bad problem right there. I think I love that man game. Grimes, he can knock it down. They got
Mhm.
NBA body. They play with NBA coaches. I mean, Bob Huggins and Sampson is not nobody to sleep on. Them some hard nosed coaches. So I think it
Right,
bodes well for these two young men because the programs that they came from, they Tom Thibodeau type of coaches. Bob Huggins, he just want he one of the hardest out there. You know what I mean?
right, no doubt about it.
Yeah, so I think that bodes well for them. So they don't have to worry about coming in with a coach who's fiery, or
Right,
they're going to hold you accountable. Um,
right.
because that's who Bob Huggins and them cats is. They man, them cats is bulldogs when it comes to coaching. So I think that's
Right.
both well for them. I think Valdoza, coming from not making no excuse for nobody. I'm gonna give him a pass today just because of the flight from Tokyo and all that stuff, and just getting
Right.
here. I do like that he's aggressive though. He do try to be in the game. He hustles. I like
Right.
that. That's
Right.
a big thing to me. Like even if your offense game ain't there right now, is you still hustling for the team. And
Right.
I do like that he bring that mentality for sure.
Yeah. This is what I will say. I agree with you. My preference is Mitch and Sims.
Mm,
But if Mitch Camp is asking for too much, we
yep,
might wind up with Noel and Sims. But
that's
my
right.
preference is Mitch and Sims.
Mm,
But I think the Knicks probably feel a little confident that, if the negotiations don't go that well, we got Noel for 3 years. Again, my preference is Mitch, and then we got this guy who's not ready yet, but within the next year or so, will be ready. But I agree with you. If you got Mitch who could play out on the perimeter, then you got Sims who could play out on the perimeter.
that's a
That's a really good mix. I
that's
think it's going to take him a few years to get there,
mm,
but I really like him.
yep. CT, my man, salute my brother. How you doing tonight?
Salute Divine, salute Steph,
How are you?
salute to the chat and the panel. Is that BX?
Yeah, that's BX.
Yes.
Yeah,
What's going
salute
on?
BX. Yeah, good to be back and talking with you all. Hope you're
Absolutely.
all well.
Yes. Yes, I am.
Yep.
What do you
Saw
think?
you
What you like?
online and I missed today's game, so I'm just really relying on your
Okay.
insight today.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
seen some stats. I've seen a few overreactions on Twitter. So I just came to where all the level-headed fans are at.
Facts. Yeah, it don't need to react today, man. I like what I seen out there, man. I like what, man. Like I said, I was like summer league and the 2021 off season review because I think we had a wonderful off season, and I just think we had a good off season. I'm good. I'm good. The Knicks taking steps and they taking the right ones, man. I'm excited about what they did with free agency because I do think that you and Steph, you brought this point up maybe a couple of times on the stream. Are you willing to sacrifice a little bit of defense for more offense? And I think we did that.
Yeah, I think so.
I think we did that. I think Evan Fournier and Kemba Walker alone to me. Obviously none of them going to be hitting their career average because there's going to be a lot more distribution going on because they got other guys who can get buckets too.
Right.
But I like the fact that every one of them cats on that team, like I was telling BX, and that starting unit could put that ball on the floor and kick rocks. You know what I mean? And get in that lane and either you pass it out to the 3-point line, you go and get you an and one or this, or you throw a lob to Mitch or whoever. And I think I can easily see almost close to 80 a game in that starting unit. If RJ numbers stay the same, not because he didn't get better, because Fournier and Kemba Walker are going to take more shots away.
Right.
If he get the same numbers on that team, Fournier get us 17, 18, and Kimba give us 15 because of granted with the knee situation, but if he give us 15 and Julius getting us 20 and Mitch getting us 10, that's a problem. Then you got Derrick Rose and Alex Burks. I mean, that's another 20 right there. I think the Knicks should be a 110 scoring team this year, just by the move they made on the defense, on the offense part of the ball for sure.
I definitely agree. And what I like about these guys is that they fit together and we got more than one person in that starting lineup that can play make because Fournier can play make, Kimber can play make. We already know RJ and Randall can play make, but whoever's playmaking, the other guys can play off of them, right? So that does help, like Kimber can play off of Randall because he played off of Tatum and Brown, right? So he knows how to play off as well. So he could play on or off the ball. That gives our offense and that starting unit so much versatility. So I'm very happy about that. My only concern, like you alluded to, was like we may have to, minute restrict both Rose and Kimba, which means whoever that third guard is, whether it's going to be IQ, whether it's going to be McBride, whether it's going to be Luca, whether it's going to be somebody we don't even know, that player is going to be in the mix a lot. that third point guard, whether that's on the days they get rest, whether that's an overtime game, whether somebody gets hurt, so that third point guard is a, a bigger deal this year, probably than any other year.
Yeah, absolutely. BX man. Let me ask you this question real quick. If do you think Veldoza will be that dude, that third guy? 'Cause I do think I think Kemba and Derrick Rose can give you 20 minutes a game. I do think they can do that. I think and I think they can give you that 20 a game. But
Right.
who you think gonna be that third guard, man? Because it's gonna be a competition for that thing.
Yeah, that's correct. I think that's why Luka Valdoza is here. His contract now is going to be um partially guaranteed now that he played the first summer league game. So it'll be weird to see them move him or drop him after that. So I think he's going to have an impact. Granted or not, even if he's not the starting point guard, they could slide him to the shooting guard as well. He'll be able to play both. McBride is going to be a long shot. Pudge nights. I think McBride has a chance because I did like what I saw from McBride today. By the way, he
Hmm.
played really well. He has that intangibles that being a pest in the defensive lanes, and I saw and yeah, and I know he's got to learn how to finish on going to the rim in a fast break. I saw he missed on that one, but that's fine. That's what summer league is for, and strong training camp. But I think Luca Veldoza will have an impact on this team unless if they bring another veteran point guard that we don't see out of the blue. But I think he's
Right.
going to be a big part of it going forward.
Yeah, Uncle Fulio. Real quick, Uncle Fulio said Jericho Sims for the win. Gonna be a beast. I second that, bro. I like that young man. I like the
Remember, he
whole.
mentioned him here.
Yeah, absolutely. I like that
Yeah.
whole young core for the next 4 or 5 years. To me,
Yeah.
if we don't
Yeah.
if we don't trade anybody, to see what RJ and Obi and Quickly and Sims and Grimes and Sims. I mean, we just got a good young core that can, as we going for these high echelon playoff runs, we still got some young guys coming down the pipe learning the Knicks system. You know
Right.
what I mean? And they getting full control of that CT. I just think that the way we built this thing, man, that's why I think me personally, I'm giving Knicks a B plus an A this all season. I think they did good in the draft. First of all, I think they did good by signing the executives. Scott Perry. I think they did good in the draft. I think they did good in free agency. So to me, that's a home run. I'm pretty happy with that.
Can I say something about free agency? I don't think I gave my take on this show.
Mm,
I like the if Kemba Walker is healthy, Kemba Walker is gonna definitely help us, and he's better than anybody we had. But I gotta be honest, I was a little disappointed because we came into the offseason with over $50 million, with the point guard being our number one hole or need in a free agency class where point guard was probably the deepest of any position. And
mm,
we came out of it with a point guard with some question marks. And I just felt like that should have been something we should have addressed early in front and free agency as opposed to late. That being said, I think Kimba fits great with us. I've come to terms with the fact, nothing against him. I will tell you this, and I've said this, before, maybe not here. If Kimba Walker was healthy, like when he became a free agent off of Charlotte, if he was that Kimba, I would have took him over any point guard who was a free agent this year. I would have took him over Ball. I would have took him over Lowry. I would have took him over CP3. I would have took him over any of them at the start of free agency. That's how much I really like him. But initially, I was a little disappointed. I was like, come on, we had all this money, and this is, we got 2 point guards with injury histories. But I've made peace with that, family. I've made peace with that. And I just hope Tibbs do a good job of managing, because he tends to go rogue and just just play and forget that these guys have knee injuries. So hopefully Tibbs will be on point as well. We get
mm.
that third point guard on point. And I think we're going to be, when I say the Eastern Conference is going to be tight this year with the improvements other teams have made, I mean, it is going to be tight.
Mm. Yeah, CT, what do you think about that? The point guard situation.
Yeah, very similar to Steph. I think we made the best out of the situation we could, after the second day. free agency. I really think I'm having a hard time believing the Kemba thing was one of their first few choices. They were talking to Kendrick Nunn.
Right.
Maybe they were. I don't think they were interested in Lonzo Ball, just because that came about very quickly with Chicago, and we heard reports that they couldn't find consensus on Lonzo. Lowry, again, I think they weren't too keen on paying that much money, and once Miami were, I think he gravitated to that. So I think they found themselves in a situation where they just needed a decent stopgap, which was an upgrade. And I'm still happy with the move because I think it has a high upside. If Kemba does stay healthy, that contract looks like a bargain. So and I think he's just a veteran point guard that Tibbs, will like having around. And I think we don't really need, to your point, we don't really need to wear him down or Rose. I think we can split them 24 minutes apiece and try and keep them healthy for the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree. I think for me that was my biggest thing. I looked at the point guard that was here, Kyle Lowry. I think that pretty much I could see that because he probably listen. I'm going to a contender.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm this age. I think Miami got a better team than the Knicks in his mind with Jimmy Buckets having a bio and all he got. So he probably feel like that was a stronger situation for him. Lonzo
Yes.
Ball, yeah, and that thing right there. Now they going through that thing. What they going through with that thing. But I do think from a Knicks standpoint, Kemba Walker, 43 games last year, Boston 19 a game. I think we deep enough not to overrun them guys. I think the Knicks are deep enough where, you know what, if we get Kemba Walker in the first quarter 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or whatever, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, then Derrick Rose come in, get Derrick Rose 6, 7, 8 minutes, he go back. I just think that the amount of minutes is not going to be an issue, I don't think. But I do think this year, the point guard in the free agency, they wasn't really nothing there to me. I don't think none of them guys is better than Kemba Walker.
I'm not talking availability, not in terms of skill. You're right, because he would have been my first choice if he was healthy. So you're absolutely right. But I mean, taking into account his health and taking into account that he can't play, you can't just throw him out there for 30 minutes.
Right.
And taking that into account, I think it was close. I mean, you could have said I would take somebody maybe not as good as Kimba, who's going to be available, over Kimba, who's maybe better but may not be available. I think that was kind of the decision, and it's okay. The Knicks decided to go with somebody who's better because, in my opinion, I would have took him over all of them, even though he may not be available.
Now, with before Kemba Walker got pried out, I thought the point guard that was going to get pried out was John Wall. I thought he was going to be the one being bought out, and I thought it was going to be John Wall to the Knicks, similar to the way Kemba Walker is coming to the Knicks right now. That's what I thought, because when I saw the way Houston's draft pulled it out and they drafted all those 4 players and all in position of need, and they had a plethora. They still do have a plethora of guards. I said, you know what? I think John Wall will get bought out, and I think he will come this way. But hey, I'm happy with Kemba Walker coming to the Knicks. I think he's gonna have a resurgence. Just that the knee, they're still saying he's still not 100%. Did he pass his physical with the Knicks yet? Or because I don't think that deal is done yet. Because I don't think he's cleared waivers yet. Which we all know it's gonna happen. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's not gonna happen, but there still could be a little bit of a snag. Unfortunately,
5 p.m. I think I was told 5 p.m. was when the waivers would clear, and then I think you're right. He'll have to do a few things before they announce the signing. So maybe late tonight or tomorrow, the Knicks may announce it. What one thing that tells me is why he took that second year. Normally, if I'm Kemba, I would have taken the 1 year, hope to bet on myself. But by taking that guarantee next year, something tells me that he may think, he needs that security.
Yeah, that's powerful. I agree with that. You know what? And for me, I think out of the top point guard that was in the free agency, I think Knicks got one of them anyway, and Derrick Rose. I just think that Derrick Rose, I think Derrick Rose, to me, with the way he played last year, he to me would have been able to help us just as much as Alonzo would, just as much as Lowry. I think he know the system, and I think and not only that, we had to, if we would have went out there and gave Kyle Lowry $30 million, I think we had Kyle Lowry, Lonzo $20 million. I just think that we wouldn't have been able to. Our team wouldn't have been as potent because we probably wouldn't be getting the Fournier thing. Maybe because you signed Noel back, you signed Alex Burks back. So I think the Knicks were looking at it this way: we got to try to be able to have enough of that 53 million. We got to spread the wealth because if not, we're gonna have one player probably came in at this position, but the rest of them was kind of weak. But I think overall, I agree with you that if they could have got a point guard that was, but I do think the committee type of thing worked for the Knicks as well. Because I think now with Quickly and RJ emerges, I mean, I don't think you had to wear these guys down that much. I'm hoping not. And I mean, like I said, Derrick Rose he played some good games last year. I mean,
oh, no doubt about it.
Yeah, I think
no doubt about it.
Yeah, so I hope that it works out for us. But other than that, I think we had a pretty good offseason. And what I'm also thinking, Steph, is this here, them cats can be trade chips. You know what I mean? I'm
no doubt about it.
That's one of the reasons I wasn't too concerned, because I like, you know what, something big about to happen. So you know what, Kemba Walker can go in a trade with that $8 million. You know what I mean? Whoever, Alex Burks and Noel.
Yeah.
Yep. So I think the Knicks might have said, you know what, let me see what these young guys we got coming out of college going to do. Let me see what we got coming out of here. And, by the trading deadline, you never know. It might be some more willing and dealing. But so far, so good for me. I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, definitely.
The interesting thing we found out was that, and I think this was leaked earlier, but Kemba was close to signing with the Knicks before he selected Boston. And from the rumors saying he was waiting on, or it was pending the Knicks signing one other guy, that didn't end up happening.
Oh, okay.
So I think there was talks that Kemba wanted to come home and the Knicks were willing to pay, but Kemba wanted to, obviously after losing with Charlotte for so many years,
right.
he didn't want to go to a Knicks team unless they had one other guy.
And I don't think Julius was on the team, but he wasn't that guy yet, right?
Yeah.
Or was it before? Was this before Julius?
I think it was before Julius. If I'm not
before. Okay.
I might be wrong, but I think it was before Julius.
Okay.
Yeah, he was gonna before he signed that contract with Boston, he thought about coming to New York. Julius was here at the time when he signed that contract with Charlotte, with Boston, giving that 158 whatever. That was the year before last, because Kemba then is this going to that third year of that contract, I think it is. Yeah. So I think Julius was here, but I think he just chose Boston. Well, I thought he was coming after Charlotte. I thought he was coming to New York. But I was like, man, let Cardiac Kemba come up. Let Cardiac Kemba come up in here. Because even though the year before last year, when Julius Randle had a great year, he didn't have a bad year the year before. Just the Knicks had a bad team. He still put up 19 and 10. He had double that year before, 19 and 11. But obviously with all the bonehead spin plays that he was had to deal with. But I think they got a good chance to do some things this year, man. I'm excited, because I just think that now we're in a position where, you know what, when the trading deadline comes on next year, the Knicks is in position with stable contracts. They gave out, to me, they had one of the best, because they only gave out 2+1s or 3+1s.
Right.
Nobody got long contracts. They could move them contracts. Now, if somebody come up here and they $40 million salary, Fournier $20 million. That's a movable. Not 20, but 18, 19, whatever. And Alex Burks is movable. And then Noel, that's $40 million right there. Now you could throw them with three picks, hypothetically, whoever.
Right,
so
right.
They did good in that aspect, because they signed cheap deals. Not cheap deals, less expensive years on the deals. And I think every player they signed was worth their money. I think Noel is worth his 10, because this is the NBA. I think Fournier, a point, $1 million. You score, you get $1 million. You make a point, you get $1 million. He got 70, 18 million. Billy Randle got his 20-something million, 20-something points. I think what's his name? My man, Bullock went out there $10 million from Dallas. What he score a game? 10 points a game, $1 million a point. You can do that. That's what the NBA is to me. And I just think that we did good with them. Them not no bad contract. Noel worth $10 million. He worth $10 million. The man was a defense player of the year. Not defense player of the year, up in that category in the runnings. A good defense player, so he earned his money. So, and that's why I said we're in a good spot, guys. I just hope we just get to capitalize. I'm excited about the season, though. BX, I think the Knicks going. I got 52 wins already, so who knows what?
Wow.
I
But
got 52.
but you know what? That's that. Wow. Wow. The only reason I say that, Divine, is because every other team in the Eastern Conference also got better, and every night is going to be a dog fight.
Yep.
You can. I mean, look what Charlotte did, and they signed Oubre as well. Atlanta's in the mix. Look what Washington what Washington did in that trade. And Indiana reminds me of Tibbs coming to New York. The roster is the same, but Rick Collins, I just think every night it is going to be you're gonna have to be on your A game.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Chicago got better. Chicago got much more better.
Chicago,
Now
I forgot about Chicago.
let me throw this out there. Now that we see the emergence of, well, it's still early, of Obi Toppin playing much more better, and knowing what we have drafted around us, do you explore the Damian Lillard opportunity now? And knowing that what we have with the kids in the summer league, and they want an Obi and Emmanuel quickly and some draft picks, maybe that's something that you want to take advantage of going forward.
I think the Lillard thing comes up again at some point this year. I think I can really see a deadline trade for Dame. He can only hold out but so long, and he keeps sending these subliminal messages, saying we need to upgrade the team. And there's just everyone knows there's no way Portland can do that. So I think the Dame thing's gonna linger. I don't think it'll be a trade before the start of the year. I'd be shocked, but I think by trade deadline, we could see some of our pieces definitely get moved.
I think it's gonna happen. I think it's gonna happen before training camp. I have a feeling, like the Russell
Before
Westbrook
training camp?
right before training camp. I think Lillard is gonna get traded. I don't know if it's not gonna be to the Knicks, but I think he's gonna get traded.
They didn't upgrade their team a lot. They really did not.
You know why I brought up that 52 win, but I agree with everybody because I said the same thing. The East got tougher. Like Indiana, you got to watch out for them. They're going to be a special team. Everybody got better, and we got better. And here's one thing I think people are going to underestimate the offensive capability of that first unit. Last year, Alpha Payton and Reggie Bullock, they combined for 20 points a game. 10 for him, 10 for him. If Kemba just give us 15 or Fournier give us 17, that's 34 points. That's 14 points more than what Reggie Bullock and Alpha Payton was giving us. And what's so crazy, you cannot back off of Kemba Walker. Now you ain't gonna be able to Alpha Payton, and I'm not beating up Alpha Payton, but because of that jump shot, teams were just collapsing on us, man. Like, listen, we ain't even gonna try to play up on this dude. Let's double team Randall down here. And if he shoot that ball 9 out of 10, he's going to miss it. They won't have that problem this year. I think that offense is kind of scary. And that second unit, I just think it's well intact. I think Alex Burks and Derrick Rose, to me, is almost better than any two benches out there, scoring wise. Them cats get buckets. You know what I mean? I'm like, and I just think that now with that offense versatility, if we like I said, we go from a number 1, 2, 3 defense to a top 10, I think the Knicks is in there.
Yeah,
I think the Knicks is in there.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to take some time to it may take some time to gel, but I think that's with any of those teams.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Yeah, but it's going to be interesting though. We're going to be fired up. I think that some of those games we were losing last year by 1 or 2 points, we just got cats who can get buckets, man. I'm like that starting five. If it's Mitchell, that starting five with Randall, Fournier, and RJ, and Kemba Walker, I guess. That's pretty tough to deal with, man, on a regular basis, just due to the fact that them cats they all can score. You know what I mean? It's kind of scary that you don't got to wait in the corner for a three, and then Reggie Bullock was my man with that, but Reggie Bullock can't do what Fournier could do with a basketball. I'll tell you that much. You know what I mean? So that cat can put that ball on the floor, and I think Alpha Payton cannot do what Kemba Walker could do with a basketball, but a long shot. I mean, these are long shot things I'm saying. So that's what made me feel good about it. I just think that 1-3, we upgraded the 1-3 tremendously compared to what we had last year, except for Reggie Bullock's defense. We're going to miss that. His 3-point shooting, but Fournier can shoot a 3-2. But I think the consistency would have me worried about that. Now we bought a consistent guy like Kemba Walker. Literally can give you 15 every night, no problem at all. He can be. I think Evan Fournier, he averaged 18, 17, 18. That means we got a guy in the starting lineup. That's his season average. It wasn't like it was 10 tonight, 2 tomorrow, 18 the other night. No, every night this cat almost give you 17 points. Reggie Bullock could never do that last year. He give you 2, 3. A week later, he give you 11. I just think it's going to be big difference with that consistent scoring, man. So I'm hoping that's where it go out.
No doubt. But I still think go ahead, CT.
So yeah, I'll just quickly say I think the playoffs where Reggie Bullock couldn't take advantage of the Trae Young mismatch really hit home to the front office, and because they all like Reggie Bullock, and the fact that they just let him walk, I think they saw that and they said, look, we need to definitely do something.
Yeah. Definitely. So Divine, you don't think in the panel, you don't think after the top 3, and we can argue whether Philly is in the top 3 or Miami's in the top 3, but whatever. You don't think after the top 2 or 3 that the teams are really bunched up in there and it can go either way? You see the Knicks as a clear separation over those other guys?
Not at all. Knicks might have won. I think Knicks have wound up finishing 6th this year.
Okay. That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, I think they can wind up finishing 6th. You know what I mean? But I do think that they got enough talent, and because of the way they play defense, I think they can be. They be right there. I think the addition just made it more to me is listen. We won 41 games with Julius Randle and R.J. Barrett. If Kemba Walker have a decent season going through, and you put Evan Fournier in there, that got to be 8 or 9 more wins, just due to the fact by some of the games we lost. Like when RJ was having them off nights, it was just Julius Randle. RJ can have an off night tonight, and Evan Fournier still might get you some buckets, or Kemba Walker might get you some buckets. So that's the only reason I kind of picked that. But like Boston, I think the top 4 to me, obviously it's gonna be Brooklyn, Milwaukee, Philly, Miami, Boston, and I go after Boston. I go Knicks. I don't care what all them other kids. I still think Knicks is
What
better.
about Atlanta?
I think Atlanta's ahead of Boston in my
opinion. I think
that's gonna be tough. They Boston went and got something they needed. You know what I mean?
What did Boston do?
They got Al Horford for Kemba Walker. And they also looking right now to maybe do Dennis Schroeder. You know what I mean? Jason Tatum is now. But last year with Jaylen Brown going down in the playoffs, he's coming back. Jaylen Brown is a stud, dude. You know what I mean? So
no doubt about it.
Yeah, man. And I think with that Al Horford move, they bought an Enes Kanter. You know what I mean? That goes some more banging, some rebounding, and they're gonna be a tough team this year with Jaylen Brown coming back there. They're gonna sign Marcus Smart again. That's a defense ball club. Jaylen Brown, they got a good defense ball club down there. But I think
don't forget about Charlotte. Charlotte was already with who did they sign? Because Oubre was late, but even before Oubre, I thought they had a decent team, and then they added Oubre on a 2-year contract. Hayward will be back. They traded
Graham.
Devontae Graham left.
Yeah, he's a Pelicans.
But I forgot who
Malik
Charlotte.
Monk.
Malik Monk is with the Lakers too, but they signed
somebody else too. Yeah,
they did.
They got Hayward coming back.
Yeah, I think every night is going to be a barn burner in this Eastern Conference.
Yeah, I
think if we should get off to a quick start, because I think these other teams with new pieces will need a bit of time to get integrated, and we're bringing back essentially the same team, but the few starting pieces. So, and those two players have played with each other, with Fournier and Kemba. So I think we should. I'm expecting us to get off to a good start. It's all about the injuries. It's an 82 game season now, not 72.
Right.
So
Right.
that's another thing. It's going to become even longer,
Yeah.
and
And fans will
we're
be
gonna,
in the stands too.
yeah,
Well, I
it's going to
don't
be,
know. I don't know with this variant. I don't know.
Right. That might change the game right there.
Right.
oh,
So
Right.
remember,
Right.
Boston is coming first year new head coach, so they got to get acclimated on his system if they buy in. So that's
Mhm.
not that's why I think the Hawks are above a little bit ahead
Okay.
of Boston because they have the same head coach, Maven Millen. Now he's going to come back again, and they coming off of that high off of the playoffs. So I like them, familiarity. The same thing with the Knicks. They, the one I think might take a step a little bit back. Don't be surprised. I'm not saying they're going to fall. They'll still be top four. It will be Philly. I could see Philly dropping a four instead of staying two. One. I'm not saying they're going to drop down that past that,
Right.
but
Right. Right.
I
Right.
won't be I won't be surprised if they were
Me
to fall
either.
a little bit.
mm,
They start off the season a little sluggish, especially if they run it back with Ben Simmons or even if they bring whoever they bring, they got to get acclimated to play as a team, and usually that takes a little bit of gelling and formation going. First 10 to 15 games as a team. So that's why the Knicks
Yeah.
gotta take advantage as a chemistry and the similarity and start off the gate strong. In my
Yeah.
Philly,
opinion.
Philly
I
front line
think
can be a problem.
Drummond was a
That's gonna
huge
be
signing for them.
absolutely. That's gonna be a
I
problem.
mean, I think I think to
What?
me, Drummond is so underrated for what
What?
he does. I mean, he may not be where the league is right now in terms of that rim protector, lob threat, but Embiid doesn't play or whatever. He got the rebounds locked down, the second shots locked down. I think that was a huge, at the minimum. He
Mhm.
signed for the minimum. I think that's a huge signing for them.
Yeah, that front line, that they got the best center tandem in the league. You ask me personally, that is scary right there, man. I'm trying to tell you. And like I said, when a beat go
Yeah,
down, you ain't losing a lot. You losing something, but not a lot.
exactly.
You're not losing a lot.
I'm another player signed for the minimum that shocked me was Victor Oladipo
Yeah, that's what I said.
signed
Miami.
for the minimum.
Mm,
Yeah, that's going to
yeah,
be a key factor. If he comes back healthy for the Miami Heat, he's going to be a big contributor going forward because he's going to want to get a contract too. So, yeah, that was a good gamble on Miami. Miami liked it anyway from the very get go. The fact that that he took that friendly discount to be there, it's not shocking because he did spend most of his career in Florida. Central Florida compared to South Florida is almost the same, but there's no state tax. There's no state tax, and that's also that money becomes a little more if he would have signed. Let's say he would have came on a prove it deal for the same amount with the New York Knicks. It would have been a little bit less due to the prorated taxes and so forth. But also, he has a chance to come in there with no pressure and just be his guy, man. Salute the city for real, man.
man.
Brings V.
City,
Hey, I ain't seen you in a minute,
See,
my
a
brother.
salute.
minute, right?
Right, salute, Smitty. Yeah, Gab BS, what's part of us?
No. It's always good to see City for real, my main guy there, man. Always good to see him there. I'm glad he's around, man. Yeah. So I think that with that said, that's a good deal with Victor Oladipo going back to Miami on
Yeah,
that
man, they
friendly
they
deal,
they
man.
stacked down there, man. They got PJ Tucker. Um,
I love him.
them dudes, I'm gonna tell you, they probably had to be the number one defensive team in the league next year,
Yeah,
hands
man.
down. I mean,
Yeah,
and
man.
Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler, Oladipo can play defense. Tucker can play defense. I mean, man, them dudes is gonna be lit down there when it comes to the defense side of the basketball. That's for sure. And what's the name? Indiana. I think Rick Carlisle gonna do that. That's gonna be a impressive team. That starting five is legit too. With Brogdon,
Yeah,
Karis LeVert, T.J. Warren, Sabonis, and Turner. That's a nice team right there. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And
definitely.
so like I said, the East is going to come up, and it's going to be a really exciting time in the NBA next year. So I'm looking forward to grind out, but I think our bench is going to be. I think with our benches we're going to pull us over in the East.
Yeah, yeah. And that's why I think that third point guard is going to be so important for us because you can't take a night off. You lose 2 games in a row. You go from that was similar to last season, right? You lose a few games in a row. You go from the 4th seed to the 7th seed. I think it's going to be similar this year as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, salute to the chat, man. Salute to everybody there checking in, man. We got
Yep.
Queen Steph in the building, BX, CT, the streets is buzzing. I'm up in here with my co-host, man. We chilling, talking Knicks Summer League was fun. Good game today. Young men look good. I'm happy, man. Like I said, we've been watching this for a minute. I ain't been excited for the Knicks in years. I just think that because of the way things are going. I think we got some good talent coming down the pipeline. I think McBride, Grimes, Sims, all these guys gonna be they gonna be around for another 4 years if we don't trade them hypothetically. But if they keep these guys, they around to grow with R.J. Barrett, to grow with Mitchell Robinson. If we sign him, I just think that we good. We got coming behind Julius Randle and Kemba Walker and Derrick Rose and them. We got some good young talent down there that's gonna be coming through the pipeline. And McBride, I think he's gonna be special. I think they all good players, man. I really do. So. I don't know if they're going to get to crack it. I don't know if they're going to get to crack the rotation. If you look at the starting 10, the 10 main guys, none of them rookies is in there, but you never know. They're getting training camp and outdo one somebody. It might be a different story. So everybody got it, but that's what the Knicks got to do for sure.
Listen, this is what I know about Tibbs and any coach. If they see a player that's going to help them win over another player in the lineup, they're going to make the switch.
Yep.
We talk about this all the time, how IQ came out of nowhere and just snatched his minutes last year. I could see McBride doing the same because it's possible that he could. It's possible because of the importance of that third point guard. Don't be surprised if he eats into Burke's minute or if he eats into IQ's minutes because, if everybody is shooting and giving us the spacing we need, Quickly is less needed because we're getting that 3-point shooting from all of those other spots, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if McBride stole, so to speak, minutes. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Off of who, Stephanie? Who you think he's going to take those minutes from?
I think more Quickly. Only, but this depends on how the shooting goes. So, say for example, RJ is stretching the floor because he's shooting the three better. Julius is shooting the three better. Kemba is shooting it. Fournier is shooting it. Then off the bench, Burks is shooting it. Rose is shooting it. So then, do you need Quickly that much? You know what I mean? So I can see, wow, we got a lot of shooting. We need more playmaking. We need more point guard play. I could see him getting more minutes in that situation. Now, if everybody come out bricking, they not shooting, then we're going to need Quickly because he stretches the floor. So that's a situation where I think if we already have enough shooting, I could see, him eating into Quickly's minute if they feel like we got enough shooting, but we don't have enough defense. We don't have enough playmaking. That's the only way I could see it.
And I think that one thing I'm really excited is we're going to have a really full training camp. And with that comes, 6, 7 preseason games. So I think before the opening night, we're going to have a really good opportunity to see who can contribute off the jump. And given we've only just seen one summer league game as well from these rookies, they're going to need some time to show themselves. Yeah.
And what's going to be interesting?
Quickly.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do we think Quickly is in the running for that third point guard, or he's pretty much going to be a 2?
I got a feeling he might be in the running for the 3. I can see it. I can see it.
Well, basically, if he continues to perform poorly, not distributing in summer league, they might change their plans. You never know. I think that's what summer league is there for. But I was going to say, I saw late early in the chat. Kudos, I think the Kanan by. He said it's interesting to see the schedule. If there's how many back-to-backs the Knicks will be facing this year. Because we all know, like he said, Kemba Walker will not be playing back-to-back. I think neither will Derrick Rose. So that's going to be interesting how they're going to scatter that and who plays the one back-to-back and so forth. And they're going to think that's why I think Luka Valdoza is going to be a pivotal part to the Knicks point guard situation as well as Miles McBride. I think they're both going to contribute in some way to form.
Yeah, you're right. Because if there's a back-to-back, they could be like, all right, Kimber's going to play the first game. Um, Rose is going to play the second game, but you're still going to need a point guard to back them up, in both of those games. So that's a good point.
And I think, well, like, I think to your points about Vildoza, why I can see him staying is that contract is just very valuable. If you need to move that, other teams will see that as an asset because they can waive it at any time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't. That's why it would encourage me, God. I just think that Knicks they got this team. To me, they upgraded big time because McBride and Beldoza are going to give you what Frank and Knox wasn't giving you if they play. You know what I mean?
It's not even close.
That's what I mean. That's why I got the team at a certain level because we got guys who going to literally could do some. But look at Grimes' jump shot is legit. I mean, I don't even feel it for one summer league game because that's just the way it is. It's their first time playing in a organized game since either they played in college or they played with the Knicks last year in the playoffs. Everything else is scrimmaging. But I really think that what I seen today, I just think that the Knicks gonna be all right. I think that point guard, I truly am not worried about that point guard situation. I think Derrick Rose got enough in the tank. I think the Knicks would not have gave that man a long contract like that. They felt like he couldn't do what he gonna do, and I think they gave him 2 years with that. Plus, they believe they got 2 years, maybe a third year in Derrick Rose's career. They really think they can get him playing at a level he playing at now, all the way through for that contract. And it's insane. I just think that Alex Burks, he know when he come in, he gonna be that main three. I think Alex Burks gonna be he just a bucket getter, man. Him and Derrick Rose and them cats can get bucket. I think, and you said when you would mention all the 3-point shooting, the Knicks got a lot of 3-point shooting. They are stacked with 3-point shooting, so that bodes well to me with them guys. Now they got an interior presence. They still got that same defense. Now think about it, we didn't have Mitch all last year. Now we got Mitch and Noel. See, and that's why I said not only did we get better from the free agent signing, we got Mitch coming back. It's not only Mitch, maybe Noel, and now hopefully it's Mitch and Noel. That defense is going to be even more stout in the first and second unit. I think that lob threat going to be that offense rebounding that Mitchell Robinson brings. I just think that the Knicks going to be ready, bro. I'm psyched. I just think that now they got horses. Mitch coming back. Fournier added more scoring to the team. Kemba added more scoring to the team. We got the continuity there. We brought the crew back, and we just added a couple of pieces in Kemba and Fournier, and Mitch coming back.
Right. I hope that our offense should be more versatile. So it shouldn't just be us running through Randall all the time, right? Because Fournier can initiate the offense, Kemba can initiate the offense, RJ can initiate the offense, and I think that works well for us. If you don't know who's going to initiate the offense, and hopefully it'll be more free flowing because all of these guys can pass and play make and can shoot. So I'm really looking for a free flowing offense where you don't really know who's going to take the shot on any given possession, more so than it's going to start with Randall and he's going to dictate whether he's going to take it or if he's going to pass it.
Yep. Hey, salute to him. We are the New York Knicks, man. Appreciate you chiming in, man. Thanks for coming in, being part of the family. Salute to the chat, Canal, Pudge, everybody, man. Nothing but Knicks, Sim in the building, Uncle Fulio, Camilio, everybody, man. Elton Leave, I got you, Pudge, City for Real. Salute to all y'all, man. Thanks for chiming in. But yeah, I think we're in a good situation in New York. I think we took that step last year to get to the first round. We put a team together, hopefully that could take us to another step. Whether it's at least we get in the second round and lose, but we took another step. Then we bring in that next piece that's going to put us in that Eastern Conference Finals. So like Elton Lee always say, he always said Knicks championship window of 2022-23, and I can see that trajectory happening because a lot of these guys like KD and all them, as every year go by, they get a little older. You know what I mean? These guys get older, BX and CT, and so I think the Knicks they got a good foundation there. The infrastructure is there, They got the cap flexibility. That's what I'm loving the most, is that they kept the cap flexibility. You know what I mean? And Julius Randle, salute to you for doing us a favor, man. Well deserved, taking that contract and keep helping us be able to bring some more power around here, maybe in the next couple of years. So salute to Julius Randle, congratulations as well. But yeah, I think we're in a good place, BX, man. I'm looking forward to the season.
Yeah, we have to see how everything's going to unfold. I like you said, the continuity of the coaching staff with the players, and like you said, the flexibility gets us are able to do moves. That contract with Julius Randle was a very good 117 for 4 years, very very good with escalating clause. It's up to him if he wants to make more money. He's going to have to continue doing grinding and putting his work. He could get that up to 178 million. It's up to him, which is good because you're still keeping the player hungry to want. You're giving him something, but there's more for him to grow and want to earn more money, which is great. I loved it the way they did that. It shows that they also can keep the flexibility down the road. Let's say the worst case scenario doesn't happen. They want to move him. They can still move him. It's a good contract to move. They can send him back home to Dallas. They can do things they want. But let's not worry about that. We're concentrating up the upcoming season. But I like you said, all that flexibility and all that maneuverability that we could move and bring a player in here, because it looks like that's the way the Knicks are going to bring a superstar in here. I don't think it's going to happen via free agency guys, because you see all these guys when they're ready to go to free agency, they take those contracts, that the team could offer them. You saw with Kevin Durant, he stood with Brooklyn. You've seen with Steph Curry staying with Golden State. You've seen with all the players, when they time for them, SGH stood with them. So I think the way it's going to be is by the trade, and if we have contracts that are friendly and movable, and you could move you could move the guys around, and you gotta like it. This organization, front office isn't afraid of doing that. So that going forward, you like the position they're in, and they're going to compete next year. They're going to be a top 6 team in the East, give and take of how everything goes, how everything breaks, and that's going to be fun. And what can we ask for that until And I was saying earlier, guys, the panel, the team is going to go more further if RJ Barrett pops as the super borderline or the All Star player, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can see
You're,
that.
you're
Yeah,
Steph. You're muted, Steffi.
No doubt about it. But to your point, BX, we always start off saying next year's free agent class is going to be this. Next year's free agent class is going to be that. Then all them guys sign extensions, and then that free agent class becomes what this free agent class
mm-hmm.
was. Weak, you
Yep.
know.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But you know what? Do you think? I thought that I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Well, let me ask you guys. Do you think the Knicks are still not that destination for free agents yet? Because I felt like we didn't have a chance with Lowry, even if we did want him. Um, I'm not sure what happened with Ball. Did we just decide that we weren't going after him, or if he just decided he didn't want the Knicks? I'm not quite sure what happened there. But I just felt like even none took less money to go for the Lakers. So do you think that was just coincidental? Guys just liked where they were at and wanted to resign, or do you think we're just not that free agent destination just yet, and we're gonna have to get our guys through trades?
Well, my thought personally, I don't. None of them guys even. I don't think the Knicks wanted any of them guys,
Okay,
other than maybe Kyle Lowry.
okay,
I don't think Lonzo Ball would have moved the needle to that level of the
Yeah.
Knicks. I don't think he would have moved the needle. And a lot of reason why a lot of these free agents staying, man, because they getting that 5th year.
right,
You know, they ain't trying to leave no $30 million on the table. You know what I mean?
right,
And
right,
I do think we need to come to terms with that, because you know why? It's like Kawhi and them cats ain't leaving that money on the table. You know what I mean?
right,
I get it. I get it. Julius Randle, that's what shocked me about Julius Randle. You know what I mean? Like, yo, but he a team player, and that's good. But I think we on that verge of being there. I just think that this year, to me, this free agent class wasn't that thorough. And despite what everybody think about next year, it's not going to be that thorough neither, because everybody's signing back up. Kevin Durant signed back up.
right,
Steph Curry about to get his money. A lot of these guys that you thought were going to be in that free agent class next year, they ain't going to be there. And if they do, they
right.
might want to stay where they at, because they want to get that extra 25, 30, 40 minutes. A lot of money leave on the table in the NBA. So it's hard to say, to be honest with you.
I think it's a combination of both on that. They don't want to, not the destination, and not wanted to be here because I think Lonzo Ball said, would I play with a center and a up and comer Zach Levine who could get it and let me be like I'm not capable of being a savior because they got Levine and they traded for Vucevic and all that. And they, I think that looked more appealing in Lonzo Ball, in my opinion, than coming to play with RJ and Julius. Despite the fact RJ is upcoming superstar, but there still wasn't that proven camaraderie that they have in Vucevic is an all-star NBA all-star center, and you got Zach Levine, enough said with that, and I think that's another destination. It was a little more appealing. But the same thing with Kyle Lowry, I think going to Miami, who was just a year ago, but removed from being in the NBA Finals, with pretty much almost the same core players, he thinks he's at piece to put him over the top to return. That's another
Right.
destination to go there. You
Gotcha.
also saw Carmelo Anthony, also decided between Lakers and New York. He said, you know what, I think the Lakers have a better chance of getting a ring, getting me at least to the finals this year. And he went that way. So it's a little bit of both combination on that.
Gotcha.
But they're not that far off of being a desirable location. Like I said it before, and we said it on different streams here on our program. Which is the superstar in the NBA that's going to have the moxies to say, I'm going to New York to try to put them over the top? And that
Right.
superstar's out there, but we don't know who it is yet. I know there's
Right.
going to be that guy that's going to say, I'm going to embrace that challenge. I think I'm
Mhm.
that guy, and I want them to build that statue of me. There's got to be some egomaniac all star that wants to be able to
I
put
think
that mantle on.
I think our best chance is the local products with Carl Towns or Donovan Mitchell.
I
If
agree.
he ever wants out, I think we need that combination of being good and also maybe being a hometown coming, like we saw with Melo. Because
Gotcha.
these other guys that aren't from New York have that trepidation. They don't feel as comfortable being that dude to carry that burden. And
Right.
but I think this year will be the year that thing can really change. If Julius has that same level type year, Kemba shows what another potential star point guard can look like with this offense. I think that'll start to open some more eyes.
Right.
And maybe we just need one more rookie to pop, whether it's Obi to look like a starter, or we need a few more rookies coming along just to top everything up.
Yeah. I think we're in a good place. You look at Chicago Bulls. Granted, they got Lonzo Ball, but they might, and well, excuse me, they got DeRozan as well. Let's not get it twisted.
Oh, that's
Now
right.
DeRozan, they went now does they might move the needle offensively, but defensively they can't touch nobody though. You know what I mean? That's I think defensively they weak. Lonzo Ball is good for the point guard, but Vucevic is trash on the defense end. Levine ain't no great defense player. DeRozan is not a defense player, and Lonzo Ball is an iffy pat. And then you throw Patrick Williams in there. Kobe White is not a defense ball player, so they might be able to score, but who they gonna stop?
Don't forget
And,
Caruso. Don't forget
mm-hmm.
they divine. The Chicago is pretty good, man.
Oh no,
Vuce-
I'm not questioning. I'm not
Vucevic,
questioning how good they are.
Vucevic,
He's a terrible defender.
but he cleaned up a lot of Fournier's defensive prowess down here in Orlando, man. And also,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
Yes, I ain't never seen him in the top 100 in the defense. Me personally, that dude, he can't play no defense. I mean, I don't watch. I mean, I don't know. We got to be watching the same guy. He is terrible. He's terrible. But last year, he was terrible. My man Zach Levine, he's not a defense ball player, and see, and that's to me, I don't, because that's the problem. It's basketball, the two side coin. You play offense and defense. You got to be able to play both, and I think that's why I said the Knicks bowl well. I have no problem with the Knicks dropping down to the number 10 defense because look at the Knicks last year. They won the offense juggernaut. That defense got them 41 wins. That defense was knocking jokers down, and I don't think if you don't have a team. That's why I like Boston and Miami. They got deep. I mean, listen, Marcus Smart and Jaylen Brown and Al Horford can get down on the defense end. So when you score on me, I score on you. But nah, you score on me, here go the Knicks. I ain't let you score on me. And I think we got to take that into consideration when it comes to this NBA thing. Because know why? Milwaukee Bucks ain't only the champion because of Antetokounmpo, because of Drew Holiday's defense.
And PJ
Right,
Tucker. Yeah.
right. Defense
Yeah.
win championships, man, and a lot of
Yeah.
these teams they getting all this firepower, but some of them cats can't play no defense, and I just think that I like the
Yeah.
Knicks' chances. I really do. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be interesting, man, to see how it go. But Chicago got. I like Indiana. Now Brogdon, Turner, they can get down. They can get down on that end. Sabonis and T.J. Warren and Carl Levert is suspect on defense, but I know you're gonna get it from Brogdon and Turner. So
But this is the thing though. They have at least Levert has the defensive tools, and when
yeah,
you have
yeah,
a coach
yeah.
like Carlisle, he's gonna hold you accountable. Your defense is gonna pick up. Look how Booker's defense picked up in Phoenix, even on the Olympic team. I said, look at Booker out there playing,
Mhm.
playing defense. But you know what, Devon, I agree with you. I think it's gonna be tight, but I do think you have to give the edge to those teams who play defense. The Indiana, I think, is gonna play defense. New York is gonna play defense. Miami is gonna play defense. So I think if it's real tough, real tight, and you're trying to list teams, I think you do have to give the edge, a little edge, if all things are equal, talent-wise, to those teams that play defense.
Defense, right, because you got to be able to stop somebody in the league. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
now they're not gonna call that.
Unless you got the firepower of the Nets,
Mm.
then doesn't matter whether you don't play that much defense or not, you're still going to be up there.
What about
Mhm.
that defensive that new rule that they have that game hunting for fouls that Trey Young now? That's going to be an
Oh,
impact. We saw that today in the summer league game with Quickly. He tried to
Mhm.
call get that and he wasn't called on that. That's going to be very impactful. At least the first 20
Mhm.
games for that adjustment period. I'm going
Yeah,
forward.
yes, yes,
Yeah, that's a bit like FIBA. I've been watching the FIBA rules, and you get a lot of contact, and you don't get the foul unless it really throws you off your shot or
right,
balance.
right.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that.
yeah, absolutely. They needed it too, man, because the NBA is getting kind of corny with all that stuff, man. I'm like, come
Right,
on,
right,
man, you can't be serious. You got one of your
that
key players
you know
getting stupid, get
that
going out the game at a crunch time, an important time in the game.
right, right.
What super foul like that? I'm like, yeah, you can't be serious. So,
the
yeah,
one that really throws me off is that the one where like Trey's going around the pick, and then players, as soon as they get around the pick, they stop. They stop on a dime, hoping the player runs into them. Like
Yes,
mm-hmm.
that's just not a basketball play whatsoever.
Mm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they did the right thing. Adam Silver, no, they did the right thing by cleaning that up, man. Because you can't knock a good defense team because you letting the offense team get away with some crazy stuff. That ain't
right,
fair. And you got a good defensive series. You deserve to be rewarded for your defensive series. You know, more that defense stop, whatever. You bailing these cats out, but it's gonna be on. I'm ready for the season.
yeah,
I'm,
yeah.
I'm, I'm what you call it, Mr. Java, Mr. Optimistic. But I'm just trying to look at our team from this perspective. That 1-3 this year, offensively, is 2 times better than what we had last year. That alone tells me something. I just think it's so important that you can't double team Julius Randle in that middle no more. You triple
Right.
team Julius Randle right now on the Knicks, you got a problem on your hand with R.J. Barrett, Fournier, and
Kemba.
on a wing on the perimeter. You got a problem on your hand. I just don't see that
Yeah,
happening.
and no more zone either.
Yes,
Oh no,
right,
that's the
exactly,
biggest
exactly.
thank you out of there. But you know
Right,
what? But the first 10 games, I think teams are going to try to test the Knicks with the zone, and they're going to try to go what they did last year to see if it's improvement. So
right.
it's going to be important these first 10 to 15 games
Hmm.
that the Knicks come out and prepare for that because they are going to see that heavy zone, and they're going to rely. Julius is going to hit the double team to see if other teammates pick him up. It's going to because they know Fournier is new and they got to see how well they're going to gel. That 2 man game is not going to be there, but I think the two
Right,
man game between Kemba and Fournier is going to be there because they have familiarity from Boston. So it's going to be interesting to see how teams are going to game plan against the Knicks. That's why I can't wait for the NBA schedule to come out to see their
right,
first 10 games
right,
to see
right, right.
how they're going to attack and go forth with that.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it's interesting.
It's gonna be.
I think it's gonna be crazy, Steph. Compared to this,
Yeah, yeah. It's
you
gonna
know,
it's gonna be crazy.
it's gonna be crazy. Don't get me wrong. We now becoming the hunted now. Last year we was hunting. Now people gonna be hunting us. 'Cause now when you play the Knicks, you're like, okay, that was a good team last year. So our guys got to be even more on point this year
Right,
because people want to be hunting us now. You know what I mean? So when they come in the garden or we go up in a joint, they know that they're not coming in against a team that they're gonna take for granted. They know that team can get down. So and we gotta be ready for that for sure.
Based off today, I feel most comfortable with our center position. You're talking Mitch, Noel backing him up, and then now it looks like we have a decent backup for Noel.
Right.
So that's our lock.
And Todd Gibson, you know what I mean?
And Taj Gibson, right.
Yeah, I forgot that. Wow.
Right. And maybe Taj can play a little 4.
Yes.
If Obi gets in foul trouble, or if Obi is not playing well, like last season, if he wasn't playing well, we didn't really have what can we do, because Taj was taking up so much of the minutes at center because of the injuries. Now maybe we could play him at 4 if we need to.
And that's his natural position, actually.
Yeah.
Right. And especially if Jericho Sims is there for maybe 8 minutes in case they're Nolan's Noel can't go. That's why it's good to have, because you could play him too, especially on a back-to-back. And let's say one of our centers, Noel, doesn't play that night, and Mitchell gets in foul trouble, and you got Gibson, on a back-to-back. You could have Sims that will play you a couple of games and won't.
Right.
And if he's part of the system, he won't hurt. So I like the plethora of depth that we have there. And guys, don't rule out Kevin Knox being an impact on this team. I know it's hard to believe it, and we got to be like Thomas, that we got to see it to believe it. But hey, Kevin Knox could still be a serviceable NBA player on this team. Don't discount him just because we didn't see him because of safety protocol issues. That kid was working his butt off before getting to the summer league. The fact that he wanted to go to summer league shows that he's willing to put that effort. And now that he got sick, I guarantee he's gonna come to training camp. Man, I think he's gonna be an X factor. In my opinion, look for Kevin Knox. Yeah, look for Kevin Knox to have a little bit of an impact there, man.
That's my guy, man. I like Kevin Knox, man.
You never know. I mean, listen, like I said, any coach wants to go for the players that's going to help him win. So if he goes in there and preseason and during practice, and he shoots lights out and he plays defense, Tibbs is going to have to find time for him.
Mm-hmm. That's what's so scary. The Knicks are deep. They got a deep team. I mean, right now they literally got their 10-man rotation locked down. And anything after that can crack that rotation, that's great. Any one of them guys on that team, other than that top 10, who could crack that starting 10, I mean that main 10 rotation, if there's a player on the Knicks who could crack that just tell you how deep the Knicks are.
Yeah, definitely. And our situational, those 5 situational players are strong players. Mm-hmm. You're talking about, it could be Grimes, it could be McBride, it could be Sims, it could be who else? Luca. It could be, there's one other guy, like that's a Knox. That's a strong situational pool, right? If one of those guys go down.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
They 15. What they say, the big 15? I'm on it, man. I'm on it.
Yeah.
We got
no more cheerleaders this time. These guys can play.
No.
Right.
Theo Pinson going to cheer for Antetokounmpo now.
Yeah.
Salute to Theo Pinson though, man.
Did you see the Portland? I know we're talking Knicks, but the Portland Summer League, they got they got there going. They got Kevin Ferret. They got
Emmanuel
Moutier and Michael.
Wow!
Holy crap, Michael Beasley as well. I'm like, whoa, they're really desperate looking.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They better hope Dame even make it to training camp. He's not happy. He's not happy.
I was shocked when we had Wayne Selden out there. Like, he's been around.
Selden played because of the Knox safety protocol. That's why they threw him in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because that's true. Because they had Grimes playing small forward.
Yeah, they could have played the other Sims though from Clemson.
Yeah,
remember Josh? I thought it was Mello's guy, Josh Selby, for a minute, and I had to think for a second.
Yeah, he to me he wasted a couple of minutes. I know why they had him, but you know what? I was like, man, you could have brought Rokas in there just to let him get some burn. The game was at a certain point, and it's only summer league first game.
Right.
But, yeah. What do you think about him, Steph? You think he's gonna stay here? Man, BS was talking about that earlier. You think he going back overseas?
I think he's going back.
Okay.
overseas. Even Andy was saying he doesn't think he's ready, and I think he just signed like a 5-year contract
Mm.
overseas or something like that. So I don't think he's gonna be here.
Yeah, me neither. And I didn't understand why for a minute why the Knicks bought him. If because you don't want to take a chance on getting injured. He on a contract over there. I just think that didn't make no sense. But I hope he gets some burns to see what he got. We got his right, so whatever. You know what I mean? Maybe 5 years from now he'll be what? He only 6? He's a young dude too, real young. So
I think he's 18, if I'm not mistaken, 18, 19 years old, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
He reminds me of a Dragic with the lefty and the way he just probes the baseline, keeps the dribble alive. And I think with our draft picks, that's one thing I was hoping we would do, was just use a few of them on a flyer, just to see, either stash or
CT. I get it how the Knicks wanted to save money with that 19th pick, but there was some players there that fell that I really wish the Knicks would have drafted.
I'm hoping.
It just stashed. And one of them was Jalen Johnson, who was a lottery, was mocked to go in the lottery, but fell. I don't know if it was because of the Duke thing or whatever. I know they wanted to save money, but I was like, yo, we could, like, in Atlanta got him, Kai Jones to me is a little further away, but from what I'm hearing people saying, he's playing well in summer league. But I would have liked us to take one of them, just one of them, and stash them. But I guess the Knicks felt like there wasn't a lot of separation between these guys, and we could save money and still get somebody that can help us. I understand where they were coming from, but I would have took a swing on one of them.
Yeah, Isaiah Jackson was my guy. I thought he would, you know what I mean? But I think the Knicks was like, listen, man, we going for the playoffs. We need this money. And you know what they did? They took that $2.74 million, added it with $5 million, and got Kemba Walker.
Yeah.
Kudos to Garden of Knicks podcast. I just saw it through the wire. They moved the game because they weren't scheduled until Wednesday, but they're going to be a game tomorrow against Indiana at 2:00. Good one. I just saw that come through the region Beckley as well. Thanks to Tony Wu on Garden of Knicks podcast for letting us know that.
What's that?
Yes,
what happened
tomorrow?
The Knicks
Indiana and the Knicks.
They'll play tomorrow at 2:00 Eastern time.
Who did Indiana?
They did good.
Draft.
They did
Chris
good.
Duarte.
Oh my guy.
Wow.
My guy.
They got Isaiah Jackson too. Didn't he go in a trade?
They traded him. No, they did get him. They traded with
Lakers
Washington.
Yeah, Lakers.
Aaron Holiday.
Yep. They got Isaiah.
That's your
Jackson
guy,
too.
so you'll get a chance to see him behind.
So then Miles Turner's definitely going to be on the move if they got Isaiah Jackson. Ooh.
Yeah, the Knicks are from what I'm hearing, the next Knicks trade, they're doing as much as they can to get Miles Turner.
They don't fit under the cap though. That's the only thing that I'm trying to
They're gonna have to trade. Like, hey, listen,
Noel's
contract. Noel's contract.
Yeah. Knox.
They're gonna probably
Knox
want.
is
They're gonna
using
probably
up
want
$6
Mitch.
million.
Yeah.
Even Stephanie, even they put Mitchell Robinson's only 1.8. And he's making 18. You got to match those contracts.
Yeah, you do.
Even if you do Kevin Knox and Mitchell Robinson, that's under 10 million, and we don't have 8 million over
right.
to
I think you do Noel. I think you could do Noel.
Burks.
You do Noel and Knox. That's it. And they want some draft pick.
Who again?
Noel and Knox.
No, you're still missing. You're still under.
No,
I think it's 18.
You don't have to do 100%. I think it's like a 60 or 70% ratio or something. Where
you got to come within a certain. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can even do that. If you did that, you did Noel, Knox, and a couple of seconds or a late first that we know.
They're not gonna want. They're gonna want Mitch because Mitch has the upside. They're gonna want Mitch and plus his contract. But then they're gonna have to sign him. Then at least Noel is signed to 10 million.
They want Obi. I think they'll think about Obi.
I'm okay with that only because I'm not sure how much minutes Obi is gonna get behind Randall anyway.
Who do you slide
Yeah.
at the power forward, backup power forward though?
Yeah, I
Josh
know.
Gibson.
I
You,
know. I
to go
know.
to
I
come back
know.
at Josh Gibson. That's
Yeah.
if there was another power forward that we could get, on a vet minimum, or
Yeah.
that we could pick up, that'd be different. We could bring in
Yeah.
here,
Yeah.
that'd be different. But
Yeah, it's gonna be.
it's
You know what?
Yeah.
That Miles Turner and Mitchell Robinson though, and Sims. Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
That is nice right there, man. Miles
Yeah.
Turner, Mitchell Robinson, and Sims. What?
This is what I will say about the Knicks, though. I think even when it came to a point guard, if they traded for one, sometimes when you're in a certain situation, you got to overpay if you really need something. Sometimes you do have to overpay. Like you think about Drew Holiday from Milwaukee. They
right.
paid a lot for him. And in a vacuum, you could say they overpaid. But when they thought about that championship and they thought about what they needed and they thought about how perfectly he would fit with them, they was glad to overpay. If you even want to call it an overpay. So sometimes if you need something really bad, gotta throw in an extra pick.
Yep.
Um, because that's what you need, you know?
Yep. And it
So
worked out well. It worked out
yeah,
well. What he did on Chris Paul in that championship game.
Let
took
Once
me
him
he
out.
let me
Took him
ask you
out.
let me ask you
oh,
something then, Steffi. Like you said, the extra picks. Would you throw the extra picks to bring in a Turner, or would you throw the extra pick to try to bring in a point guard? Let's say a Damian Lillard that he's available. If you had to pick one of the two poisons.
I would do oh I like I like Dame. I just think his window is so short. That's my only
Okay.
issue. You bring him in, you got 3 years. You gotta try to win real quick before his time runs out. But I wouldn't let an extra pick hold up a trade if you really want a guy.
mhm.
I
All
just
right.
wouldn't. I just wouldn't let it hold up a trade if you really want a guy. And I think the same thing with Turner. I just don't see Turner and Mitch because both of them are starting centers. I just don't see them on the same team. Because they both starters in my opinion.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
nobody wants to go off the bench or even be the backup power forward with Julius
Right.
Randle.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Do you think Miles could play some power forward?
I think he can because he can
Mm,
shoot the three a little bit.
he could stretch it.
right. Can he defend the a four, you think?
That's be interesting because he up there in blocks. I understand in the center position and the help defense. I don't know. It'd be
Yeah,
interesting
I
to
don't
see.
know.
But but I'll tell you one thing: you have a good mentor in Charles Gibson there
Yeah.
that will help him put him in the right position and get
Right.
acclimated to play the power forward.
Right.
And know how to transition to do both power forward and center because that's
Right.
exactly what kind of hybrid Taj Gibson
Right.
has been.
Yeah. If we could get up, if Miles could play both 4 and 5, that would be great for us.
Tell you what, what's going if you had to move? Let's say you did have to move Obi Toppin and Nerlens Noel or whatever for Miles Turner. Even though my man's still on the market, I would see a Laurie Marketing to take a 1 year deal.
Oh, I would like that if that's the
Oh
case.
my
Yeah.
God! At the stretch
Yeah.
four,
If we could fit it in, I would like that.
yep.
That'd be a nice, yeah.
If you had to move Obi and Noel to get Miles Turner and a pick or whatever, and knowing that the Laurie Marketing ain't signed yet, I'd bring that young boy down here in a heartbeat to play the backup
Yeah.
for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
He
Yeah.
could
That'd be
shoot the
the
three. He could
height.
stretch the floor. The
Yeah,
height,
he
like
got
you
weight.
said, yeah. I think
The
he has a
size.
good ball. He has a good ball handle. Am I correct?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I like him. I like him.
But yeah, I think we're in a good spot all around. I think we're in a good spot as an organization. I think the Knicks is going to be all right. I think moving forward, Damian Lillard. If you have to move, I don't have a problem if you have to move Noel, Burks. I guess you got to throw 40 in to get you to 40 million and something out and a couple of picks. I don't have a problem with that for Damian Lillard right now. I think Damian Lillard and Julius Randle 1-2 punch can be pretty explosive. I think it'd be sort of like him and CJ McCollum, except for Julius Randle getting you 11 rebounds, CJ McCollum and getting you about 2. I mean, whatever the case may be. But I do
Right.
think Julius Randle was ascending, and
Right.
I think with him on the ascend, it's like, do you do Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler, Julius Randle and Damian Lillard? You know, let's go 1-2 punch. You know what I mean? That's I think I could take that Julius Randle and Dame Lillard 1-2 punch over them two. To me, just because of the way they get buckets. Jimmy buckets, he's not he can get buckets, but he's not a bucket getter per se.
Would you guys be?
But I know Damian Lillard could drop 30 on you in sleep.
Yeah.
Like before the season, I didn't trade line. Yet.
You're coming in.
I think
You're
you're
coming in
breaking up.
wrong. You're breaking up. Divine.
Okay, I'm sorry. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah, no, it's good.
I think if this is close to in a certain spot by the trading deadline, I think they might make a move.
But this is the thing, Divine. I like Randall and Dame. Can we put a good enough team around them that's going to make a difference? That's the thing.
Somebody's broken up again.
Is that me?
No, that's coming from Divine.
That's me.
Yeah.
Okay, we
Probably
can hear
having
you now.
it's some rainstorms probably down there.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you do that with the move we just said right now, and you move Fournier, Noel, and now it's Burks, and you could bring in him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Portland will go for the older guys. I think Portland wants younger guys.
It's a salary thing. That's what the reason why I got to go with them guys is because of the salaries. You know what I mean? A lot of guys don't make that money like 10 million, 20 million, and 10 million. So I think if they were to do it, I think what you could compensate the young guys with is some draft picks, though.
Josh on there. It's like he was out of the chat. This is his thing all the time. This is his thing. Teams do it all the time. They get 2 or 3 all-stars, $30 million contracts, and they build a team around them. So you don't even hear him in the chat at all. As soon as I said that, he came right on. Yes, you can tell like that. That's his thing.
That's Uncle Fulio.
Always lurking when it comes to that.
I think Josh is of the mindset that he'd go after Ben Simmons, I think, if he was available.
Yes, he did say that.
Would let's say you could get Ben Simmons on a pretty good price. Would any of you entertain that? So I don't see him coming back to Philly. He's not even answering anyone's calls.
The only issue I have, if he was a willing shooter, yes. Like if you can look and see he shot 29%, then he shot 39%, then he shot I would be okay, but he just doesn't shoot. That's my only issue. He doesn't shoot. Shooting and missing is one thing, but not shooting at all.
Oh, right.
Right.
But if he shot, I would. Yes, I would.
If we could get Simmons for a good deal, I would say the Knicks. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind him coming here because I know he's gonna want to stick it to the Philadelphia 76ers all the time. And man, if he wants to stick it to them, I don't mind him being in the Knicks jersey to do it.
The defense, boy, I tell you though, man, he got size though. That boy, he got size. He could get it on that open court, but that's a playmaker dude for you right there though. His good.
But this is what I will say. Oh, is that Josh? No. This is what I will say. Like Josh says, in terms of putting the players around these superstars, the Lakers are able to do it. The Washington Warriors, Brooklyn. You got to keep in mind, once you use up your salary cap on 2 and 3 players, now you're down to giving out the minimums. Like I think Miami had to sign 7 minimum contracts to make that work. The Lakers had to sign, I don't know how many minimum contracts to make it work. And the same thing with Brooklyn. So you're going to have that core 2 or 3, and then your the other players are going to just rotate every year because they're all minimum. They're all minimum contract guys. So and when they did sign those 2 and 3 year guys, that took them over the salary cap, and they were in the luxury tax. All of those guys, the Lakers, the Warriors, Brooklyn, they paying heavy tax from going over the cap. So it can be done, but you're talking about minimum guys, and you're talking about paying the luxury tax.
But the only difference is that they're ready to win an NBA title.
But they're ready.
They're ready, but we're not quite there yet. And even
Right.
even if we were to get Damian and Julius, do you think those people that those players that are ready to will accept the minimum, thinking that these two guys could take them to that promised land? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think they have the reputation or the cachet to say we us two, and when it comes time for bet minimum to help us get over that top. I don't think it's appealing, in my opinion.
When they see LeBron and AD, you mean, or when they see
No, no,
KD
they have a
and
choice of
Kyrie?
no. They see them there, but then they see Damian and Julius Randle, and you have to pick next year Met Venom to go play with those players or with Julius and Damian. Who do you think these guys that are going to take the bet minimum will go to? I don't think the Knicks. I think the Knicks would be like a third option or fourth, in my opinion. Unfortunately, and as much as we love the team, that's why I like the way they're building with that depth and so much talent around them, and we just gotta wait for, like I said,
Right.
like who is the guy that has the moxie that says I want to play for them? And I think it's gonna be a CAA, disgruntled CAA player that's gonna be the one that the Knicks are gonna pounce on.
I think
Yeah, I
that
think their dream is Donovan and Cat.
yeah. I also think that we can't underestimate the maturation of what these guys around the league. They see RJ Barrett. They see his game. These cats take I mean, I think of, if you just hypothetically, if we say you got Mitchell Robinson, Julius Randle, whoever going to be at the three, RJ Barrett, Damian Lillard, and whoever at the three, you get the right.
You're broken up again, my friend. Bear with us. Divine is having a little bit of technical difficulties.
I think with Dame and Randall, that first year you get them, you would have to make a run.
Right.
And so then those other guys would be like, whoa, they right up there in the conversation with the Lakers and the Nets. And then you have a chance at these minimum salary guys.
Yeah, that's why I wish if they could bring them in here, it would be before trade, right before around training camp, then right at the middle of the season, because then you have to pre-acclimate and all that, and you don't have practices when you bring them through the All Star break and so forth. So if there were to be a move, man, I would have loved to be around training camp, or right before, like 2 games into training camp, or a couple days into
Right.
training camp, because it
Right.
gives them time to work things out with the team, the verbiage, the scheme sets, the assignments, and that that would be in a perfect world. That would be the way I would like Damian Lillard to come on. I
And
think it's gonna happen.
yeah, so let me ask you that we on the topic and see if y'all can figure this out. So, do you think Trey Young and them was just one of them years? Because I think Trey Young and John Collins is not Damian Lillard and Julius Randle to me. Even with the guy they got around him with Bob Bogdanovich and.
Yeah, I think they got hot and kind of went on a run. Like, I don't know. I still think they're up there in the Eastern Conference, but I don't know if I would say they're perennial title contenders at this point. I don't know if I would put them with Milwaukee, um, Philly. Who's the other team? The Nets. I don't know if I would put them there. I just think they got on a good run, and I do think they're talented enough to go on another run. But I don't know if I would say, yo, they one of the top, 4 teams in the Eastern Conference. I don't know if I'm ready to say that
No,
right
they're in
now.
that next tier below where we're at.
That's what I think.
But also you don't see it. You don't see people running or flocking to sign veteran minimum, like the way we were conversation that prior to this that we were saying if you got Julius and Damian, these people will come. These players will come for the vet minimum. You didn't. If that was the case, you would have seen people done that with Atlanta. No one actually that moved the needle besides other than their reporting cast returned
Right,
to Atlanta. You didn't see, guys
right,
would have taken if we would have saw a plethora of people of going in for veteran minimum to go play with the Hawks, and you're like, whoa, wait a minute, there's something there.
right,
So
right,
to answer your
right,
question, it kind of answers itself by the way the free agency needle was moving. You saw everybody running to the Lakers and running to the Nets and the usual suspects that we talked about because they got the superstars that moved the needle there. So
right.
uh, I think it's
Yeah,
a little bit of combination of both.
yeah, that's why I asked that question. Yeah, because I figured like this here. I do think if Damian Lillard was on the Knicks, if you what Julius Randle, R.J. Barrett, Mitchell Robinson, them, I think they'd be a top 4. I don't think Atlanta's better than Damian Lillard than Julius Randle. I don't think Trae
No,
Young and
no,
John Collins is better than Julius Randle and Damian
no,
Lillard by
I don't
no
think so.
means. So that's what I said. I think a Damian Lillard with the Knicks, with the way the Knicks is currently structured right now. I mean, you still got Derrick Rose back there, a veteran guy who can get buckets in the playoffs. So even if you had to move Fournier, Alec Burks, and I think moving them 3 players, even if you gave up 3 draft picks, 3 first round or 4, whatever, I don't think you gut the team by getting Damian Lillard if you had to give up them guys.
But I don't think they're going to take them. But that's why, Josh has said before, it would probably have to be a 3-team trade, because if it's just us in Portland, they're going to want a budding all-star for Dame, right? So it probably would have to be a 3-team trade.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yep. That and the other, unless you're gonna throw R.J. Barrett in the deal. That's
If it's going
about
to
it.
be just a
Right.
2, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
And then
the
you
reason
gotta
why I say that, if they trade him, they rebuilding. They get rid of Damian Lillard, they are rebuilding in the West.
Right.
You could forget about it. You don't move Damian Lillard unless you're going on a rebuild.
Right.
You know
Exactly.
what I mean?
And then McCollum would be next, right?
Right. And McCullough, yep.
it'll be behoove Portland. They got a new ownership there. The owner died. Got a new ownership. Lakers are we all know Lakers are top heavy. Then you have Phoenix on top, and they might be 2 or 3
Right.
years away if Portland think about if they really realistically look at the timeline in the Western Conference. They might be in that rebuild mode going
Right.
forward. You never know, and also I think it's going to take a 3-team. A Dallas Mavericks. Kristaps Porzingis could be a player that could be moved to Portland. You get your superstar in there with CJ McCullough. Porzingis, you never know that type of player
That type of thing.
that moves that, and then we got to send Dallas picks and something that they want. That the Knicks might have young Obi Toppin or something.
Right.
You
Or
never know.
Golden State, with Wiggins or whatever, and McCullough going over there.
Right.
Right.
Again, there's not too many guys out there that I can think of after Damian Lillard that's other than everybody was talking about Bradley Beal. At one time, I think Bradley Beal going to stay in Washington and get that
Because I
money.
think Washington got better. They got
Yes,
Kuzma.
Yes.
They
Yes.
got Harrell and somebody else.
Latavius Pope.
Dinwiddie.
Pope, Dinwiddie.
Dinwiddie,
I don't think Bill is leaving.
Right, and then they gonna
Yeah.
now he get a chance to get a super max there.
His family don't want to move from there either. They said his family loves it there, and that's
Right.
So
Right.
Their center, Thomas Bryant, is up and coming.
Yep.
Is he still hurt, or he'll be back by the start of the season? Do we know?
I think he should be back. If I'm not mistaken, they say he's gonna be back. I don't know if it's at the start step, but he will be playing, earlier than late. Put it like that. Yeah, he they like I said, the NBA is gonna be nice, man. It's gonna be strong this year, and but I just think that if we don't get that dude in free agency, other than Lillard, is anybody out there you think other than Lillard and Bill that you think the Knicks would be able to trade for in the next year or two that'll kind of get us to that level, or you think we're gonna have to do it by the way we're doing? Is it another player out there who you think they know what I want to lead this team? And I think I get the Miles Turners and all the guys, but they ain't the Damian Lillard and all them guys.
Maybe Cat, but does Cat and Julius move the? I mean, they will move the needle, but is that a championship core? Or if they go after Donovan Mitchell, and now they have Mitchell and Randall. It's not the same as Dame and Randall.
Right. That's why they ain't big. But I take 24 and 11 up at the power up at the center spot to stretch the floor. Him and Julius Randle fit good together because they both can play inside and outside. They don't mess each other's game up. I mean, Cat Lily can stretch the ball. I know he might not be hard like people like, but the dude dropping 24 and 11 on a regular. I mean, every night this cat give you almost 24 and 11. I know people don't like him, but you can't teach that, man. That and man, he know. I think after
he can play inside and out.
Yeah, and after what he went through with his parents, he been through a lot of adversity.
Right.
You know what I mean? Sometimes now, so he might have been weak a couple of years ago, but when he went through with his mom, his dad, the COVID situation, all that, some things just make you a different person. You know what I mean? And I think him coming down to New York because his dad lives in Metuchen, New Jersey, which is close right here. He might say, "I want to get," you never know. But I would have a problem with Cat. I would not have a problem with Cat.
Me
Kentucky,
either.
Kenny Payne know how he get down. That's that tree right there. And I think a 7-footer like him next to Julius Randle to do what he do. Yes, sir. I don't know if it makes us contenders, but I know it's not a bad weapon to have next to Julius Randle with that height. But
Right.
so it'll be interesting, man. We got a lot of options to go over, man. I think we will. But like I said, I was sided with Summer League. I think that was good. I think I like the talent we got. I love Sims. I love Grimes, McBride. I think they got a chance to eventually, if not this year, next year, really, really be a part of this thing. But they right now they're probably gonna be situational. I just think the Knicks is too deep unless they crack the rotation by out beating somebody. But
Right.
the only person I can see is Manuel Quickly. That's the only person I can see. And I don't know, quick heat it up when he want to now. But that's how deep that team is. It's a big 15, man. But I think we're gonna be 6th seed. I'm gonna go on a limb and say 6 to 4. I just think a lot of teams don't play defense like us out there, and we got scoring talent too. I mean, I think we got one guy could race another guy. I think Julius Randle offset they superstar. If Fournier and RJ and Kimba could do their thing, I just think that bodes well for us. So we'll see. Because Miami is tough. They tough, bro.
Miami.
Shit, I'm serious, man. That's scary down there, man. Kyle Lowry at the point. Jimmy
Yeah.
Butler, Bam Adebayo, Duncan Robinson. They got PJ Tucker, Oladipo. They got
Tyler Hero.
Right. Oh my God, them dudes are stacked down there, man. Like you said, I think they move in front of Philly if Philly don't get it together.
And we had a hard time with them last year, and we're better, but they're better too.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting. Yeah, I think that 4, 5, and 6 this year, that 4, 5, or 6 position gonna be interesting. I definitely think we in the mix though. With Tibbs, I think we in the mix. I think with Tibbs,
Yeah, no doubt.
He got enough to slow a team down. We got enough weapons now that we can score a little more.
Right.
So it's gonna be interesting.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Knicks are not done. I still think they're okay going in like this. This is good, but if something rolls across their desk, they're gonna take a look at it.
Right.
Yeah, they got to, man. They got to. That's why I think that's the reason why I think they did what they did with Noels and Burks and them. That's the reason why I think they did that. So listen, these are movable contracts, and they serviceable people. It ain't like they scrubs. You know, you got a $2,000, you got a $10 million scrub. Anybody would love to have Alex Burks scoring the way what he was doing in the playoffs last year or in the regular season last year. I think they would love that, and I think you got to remember 4 teams won in Nerlens as well, so it ain't like nobody well did before we did. So that tells me that people want him, and what he did last year, I think a lot of teams need it. They need a defensive shot blocking big man that can help them in the interior with especially with all this pick and roll stuff. But I think we go get somebody. Who it is, I don't know, but I think we make one more move. But if we don't this year, I think we battle for that chance to go in the second round, maybe.
What do you mean one more move before via free agency before training camp, or what do you mean to be more specific?
I think it's going to be toward the deadline.
Trading deadline?
I think the Knicks. I don't think they're going to make a move to the deadline. I think they're happy with what they got. They got enough to keep them in contention to see what they could.
I think he froze. He froze again.
He froze again.
I would have. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Steph. I'm sorry. I just let anybody go.
What I would have liked, and they probably considered it, to do that sign and trade with Bullock and with Dallas and bring back Brunson. Now, if we went into this with Brunson as our third point guard, like that 3-headed monster, I would be sitting pretty right now. I'd be really happy. Nice.
Yes.
Yeah. But I'm sure they considered a sign and trade for Bullock. It just didn't work out.
Yeah, that would have been nice to get Brunson in there. You bring that would have been a really nice pickup. That's what I thought when I first heard sign and trade. I said, "Oh, wait a minute,"
because he's restricted still. He still has to be retained. So I don't think I've heard any news on that.
It's next year, I think. I think he's still on the
Oh,
Yeah,
market.
next year is it? Okay.
Yeah, I think
next
so.
year.
Yep.
Next year, yeah. I think he's making the same as it's the same situation with Mitch. 1.8 million he's making this year.
Right,
And he was also a second round pick, so he's going to be unrestricted if he doesn't sign the extension.
right, right.
Yeah, we got some situations on our hands.
Now, do you think if knowing the fact that, let's say, Obi Toppin, um, would you be inclined to bringing a veteran power forward just in case to fill out the
I,
roster?
I
And
Obi
then
looked
if
good today, but I said that before summer league. I was like,
like,
we can't be banking on Obi making progress. Maybe we should have brought in a veteran power forward, but maybe that's how they see Taj.
all right, because I was going to throw a name now. Jared Dudley is out there as a veteran minimum
Who?
coming off that injury. That Jared Dudley, he was on the Lakers,
Oh,
former
Jared
rookie.
Dudley. Jared
Jared
Dudley.
Dudley,
I thought you was
power
going
forward.
back to remember the one play for the Knicks who
No, no,
couldn't shoot the
Jared
free
Jack.
throw.
No, 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 not
No, the
that
You
man.
know, talking
center.
about the other Dudley. Yeah,
Oh
that's
no,
I was
no,
like, who?
Chris Dudley, Chris Dudley.
Yeah, I was like, who?
Oh no, no, no.
Oh.
That's a
I don't
name
know
from the
about
past.
Jared. I don't know if Jared could put in any minutes at this point.
I mean, he's coming off that injury. Someone power forward. I'm just saying backup. You sign him for a better minimum. If it doesn't work, you get rid of him. I don't know, just as a backup power forward. I know he's not going to get much burn, but you never know what he's going to get out of, or any
Right.
kind of backup. That's a name like similar to that. We need a veteran three and a guy. Yeah, yeah, I agree. Ultimately, that's why they should have tried to see if they got in a Rudy Gay. Would have been a nice power forward pickup if they would have got him in here. But it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. One or more of our big our young guys are gonna take a leap this year, and that's gonna really help us. I don't know who it's gonna be, but that's gonna really help us.
Yeah, I think Obi and Cooper take leaps this year. I really do. I think them guys got a full summer league and a full training camp, and I just think that they're gonna like all these guys, not only the Knicks but everybody, man. They got a full training camp. They're gonna bode well for a lot of these guys in the NBA. And I think last year going through this COVID thing where nobody can have a summer league. I think now they passed all that. Today. I like the way he rebounded. I think the way he was playing today, he had a little post move here and there. He went in the paint. When he got banged, he still threw the ball up, got some and one. And you know what? He take good open threes, even though they ain't gonna win some of them, but they're not forced shot. They good open. If only take the Knicks would be nice.
You,
I know, man. I'm picking up, man.
your mic was frozen again.
Yep. But we're gonna but let's give me a round thoughts, man. Be up where you think the Knicks gonna be by when the dust settles.
What do you mean, Bob? Before training camp or
No, no, but
year? By when?
once it's we coming down to the season, do you think they're gonna be fourth, fifth playoffs, or are they gonna fall? What you think? What do you look at this team?
Okay.
Oh, as of right now, the way it's constituted, the I mean, it's hard to see without a schedule how many back to backs and so forth. But if the way of everything in a perfect world, I think they stick right there. I think instead of fourth, they'll be fifth seed. I think because due to the fact that they're going to play some really tough teams, especially 82 game season, and they're going to be more opportunities to teams to scout them a little more, and vice versa. I think they'll be at 46 wins. And I think that'll be the fifth seed. In my opinion.
What about you, Queen?
I'm gonna say 5-6. I think Miami got that fourth, unless there's some injuries. If everybody stays healthy, I think Miami has the 4. And I think this is a tough question. I'm gonna give the Knicks the benefit of the doubt, and I'm gonna say 5. Not that I'm questioning the Knicks, it's just that the other teams have gotten better. I'm gonna say 5, but Atlanta, Washington, but I'm gonna say 5.
What about you, CT?
I think the Knicks will fight it out from anywhere from 3 to 6. I won't be shocked if we're any spot in that range. I'll be surprised if we're outside of that. I mean, obviously, I'll be disappointed if we're 7th, and I'll be shocked if we're 2nd. But I wouldn't be surprised if we're anywhere from 3 to 6, because there's a lot of things that can shake out with other teams. An injury here and there. And like we said, last year was just a mind of its own. People might be shocked if Atlanta aren't as good. People might be shocked if Chicago look real good. It's just
Yeah.
And also, I wouldn't fly off the deep end with preseason either. Every year we see preseason, and some teams stand out, some teams don't. It takes a little bit longer than that. I think it's the first 20 games that sort of set a trend.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go 4 to 6 definitely. I do think we got. If I look at everything we went through last year, and we were one of a few teams in the NBA last year was hit with injuries all year. Obi came out the gate injured. Robinson got injured. Allen Burks protocol injured. It was like up and down.
Rose protocol.
Yeah, it was just so many, off injuries and everything, and I think that played a part in what we did. But I do think now, I just think that a healthy Mitchell Robinson is, to me, is going to be a key, because I think if you got him and no. I know I'm breaking up probably again, but I do think that the Knicks going to be a much better team. I think Evan Fournier going to be a upgrade. I think Kemba Walker on 15 minutes is an upgrade. I really do. I mean, step back, Kemba's.
Wow, Rio got Detroit up there, man. Wow.
I know. I said I was like,
Wow, but
Detroit.
they have improved.
I like their team. I like them young guys down there.
They have improved a lot.
Charlotte gonna have to show me something more on the defense end. And you lose Devontae Gray. You still got Scary Terry, and you have Hayward going to be at the 3. So they're going to have to show me on the defense. Chicago just seems to me they got to show me some on defense. Obviously, they probably can get it. You know what I mean?
They got Oubre too, but it takes more than one person to play defense for sure.
Right. Yep.
Charlotte, remember, Charlotte was in the 4th seed before the Knicks overtake them. Before there's all those injuries, they were really.
And they got Book Night. Book Night is going to help them.
Yeah.
So
they made a couple. They got stronger down there.
They got Kai Jones as well. I don't know if he's ready though, but
no, I think he might be raw. I think he might be another year or two away from really popping in the league.
Hey, Primo. That dude, he is shocked. I mean, you got to get San Antonio drop took him from the projected down in the 30s and took him
at 12.
Yeah, boy, and he is, and that boy got. Good move. They reached like crazy reach for that, but then
they did, but he played well though.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
Like and that's what I will say. You can do all of that trading down if you have a tier of guys that you like, and you like, as long as I get one of them, then I'm okay. Then you could trade down. But if you like just one player, you got to go and get them. Whatever people say is too high or whatever. If you really like just one player, you got to go and get them.
Right, and especially if he fits your system. They that player that coming out of college that fits, and no matter where it is,
you got to get him.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Oh yeah,
got to get him. You can't be cute when it's just one player. He should be there at 19, you know? He should be there at 12 whenever they, yeah, he should be there at 19. So let me trade down with the Knicks. And he's not there, you know?
Then there it goes. Wah, wah, wah. Yep.
Yeah.
And seventh and eighth battle. I think the seventh and eighth battle to me gonna come down to Indiana. I'm gonna have to go Indiana, Chicago, and Washington. That's gonna be crazy, man. This gonna be some exciting.
Dinwiddie and Beal.
Yeah,
They got Dinwiddie now. I think they're gonna. Yeah, it's gonna be. That's what I'm saying. It's gonna be rough in the Eastern Conference.
Don't forget it. Hachimura is gonna have a good season next season. He had a good Olympic run. I think he's gonna take that next step. It's not gonna be something may move the needle for the Wizards. Who knows?
Right.
But he's gonna be pretty decent, especially with Dinwiddie and Beal together out there in the backcourt.
And don't forget they got shooting with Bertrands. They got shooting with Kispert out of Gonzaga.
Absolutely.
That's a deep. That team is really deep with the trades that they made. That's a really deep team.
And then first year head coach, right? Am I correct?
Yeah, Wes Unseld Jr. Yeah, they got to see if they're gonna buy into his system. That's why
right. They got a new coach. They got a new coach.
That's why I picked them down there because I said Wes Unseld, this is his first year with them guys. But he's been around. Don't get me wrong, he's been assistant for a lot of teams, so it's not like he's a scrub or nothing.
It might invigorate players like Bertans to buy in a new fresh start, new head coach, opportunity to get into a better playing situation. Guy like Bertans must say, fresh start, a new coach. Let me see if I, clean slate. I don't have the old coaching staff knowing what I did wrong last year or so forth. It might work. They might get it. They might end up being inspired. Maybe they might be the shocking team like the Knicks were, or vice versa. Or it could fall in their face and it could be really bad. Maybe Beal wants to get going out of there. Same thing with Boston. Boston's gonna have a new head coach there as well, and and remember they still got the core between Tatum and Brown, and Kyrie was like that's something not going good in the. I don't know if he meant if it was because of the players or it was the head coach. He said there's something missing or something wrong in that locker room in Boston. So I don't know what truth it is or if it's just him just talking hyperbole or whatever the case is. But they still kept pretty much the core. I think Boston is gonna miss is Tristan Thompson. I think not having him there, they're gonna miss him. And it's gonna show in the beginning until they adjust to there. Remember, they got Josh Richardson as well on there.
Yeah, absolutely. Good defender.
And they were thinking about. I gotta go, fellas. But I just want to say this real quick. They was thinking about trading Smart. They would never trade him to us, but I would have loved to have Smart on this team.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was hoping for that one to come down the pipe, Steph. Yeah, I was hoping for that one now for sure.
They would never trade him here, but yeah, but if they sign Schroeder, I think they'll be okay. Horford is going to be good for them.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's a pro.
I want to real quick before you go. I think people can't underestimate what Russell Westbrook was to the Cats too. You know what I mean? And I think Dinwiddie could play basketball, but Dinwiddie is not no Russell Westbrook. Not when it comes to being in these big games, these big fights. Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal pretty much put the Wizards on their back in the second half and took them to the bubble. I'm not to the bubble, to almost to the play-in. So I think that triple double threat and that veteran experience. Now, I mean, Dinwiddie could shoot the ball like my man can, but can he get that ball to them players like Russell Westbrook can? Who gonna replace that energy and that dog, man? That Russell Westbrook. Yeah, that dog.
A lot of people don't like Russ. I'm not one of them people.
Right.
I'm not one of them people.
Right.
I think he moves the needle big time. I think it takes more than one person to win. Oh, he's not a winner. It takes more than one person to win. He has his faults like everybody else in terms of turnovers, and he's not a great shooter. But talk about energy, talking about hustle, talk about motor, talking about somebody who cares about what they do night in and night out. Russ ain't sleeping. He ain't coming in a game sleeping and going through the motions. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, he first ballot, man. That dude first ballot, bro. Anybody that put up a triple double all year long, you could call it empty.
Multiple years.
Right. What? Multiple years, triple double. Yeah, we appreciate it. We know you got to go, sister.
Yeah. But I just say this last thing. People don't want him on the Knicks. Let me tell you, if he ever came to the Knicks, he would be our best player.
Yes, he would.
He would
Hands
be our
down.
best player.
Hands down. Hands
Right.
down. Yep. Hey,
Yeah.
when the next time you on?
Oh, I'm on tomorrow, Monday, 8 o'clock. Chris will be on.
Okay.
Josh and Tony will be on. What we're gonna do, one of the things we're gonna do, if everybody don't know, the Queen's Court Mondays, 8 p.m. is a show I host on Nothing But Nick's channel. We did a roster construction show a few weeks ago. So we're
Mhm.
gonna take this current roster and put it up against the roster we wanted and just
Okay.
kind of talk about how we feel about what the Knicks did versus
Mm.
what we wanted them to do. We'll also talk summer league. The Knicks play tomorrow at 2 o'clock. That was a change from what I understand. So we'll
Mm.
have two summer league games to talk about. Talk about a little free agency. Just kicking it, We're
Okay.
just gonna be kicking it on the Queen's Court
Well,
tomorrow.
I to make sure I jump in the chat. So you hit me up in there, man. Come and support the show, and then whenever you got an open panel, I'll come in there and holler at you.
Oh man, whenever you could come. I don't know if
Yeah,
8 o'clock is a good time for you, but
oh no, it don't
I would
matter.
love
It's
it.
fine. It's fine. Yeah, I know I'm good.
So next week, see what next week looks like for you.
Okay, yeah, no, I'll be open. I'm coming on, Sister Beth, for
All
sure.
right, all right. And BX you always welcome. CT, you guys are always welcome.
Yep, yep. Well,
Thank
appreciate
you.
you,
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Blessing
peace.
tonight,
Thanks.
man. Thank you
All
so
right,
much once again. You know
all
how we
right,
do. All
all
right,
right,
so,
my brothers. Appreciate you.
Have
yes,
a
All
good
right,
night.
indeed.
all right. Bye bye.
Yeah, yeah. It's gonna be damn game tomorrow. That's all right. 2 o'clock. I'm coming home early.
So was that they gave us an extra game, or was
Yeah.
one of our games brought forward?
No, it was an extra game.
Oh, nice.
It says here the Knicks are playing an extra game at 2 o'clock tomorrow. Makes sense. They don't have another game until
Mm.
Wednesday. The Pacers have it's canceled today because apparently of the Wizards COVID protocol. So they gave that they gave it to the Pacers to play us as a bonus. So we have a bonus game because of the
Yeah,
Wizards fortunate situation with COVID-19.
because we had dudes that didn't play today, like Rocas. I'm seeing had 0 minutes.
Nah, he
Yeah,
did.
there was
We
quite a few players. Rokas, uh, the other Sims, Amir Sims didn't play. You had quite a few players, like about 4 players that didn't get any time to play. So let's see if they tomorrow. It's going to be kind of like a back to back anyway. So
Right.
they
hopefully,
might play those players that didn't play. So especially such an early turnaround game at 2 o'clock. Down there with the Heat, you guarantee they'll play more of the bench. I won't see the amount of minutes that quickly and Obi played.
Mm. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I hope
yeah, definitely.
because I would love to see him because I just want to see all our prospects, man. I want to see what we got, see how he how his game translates to the NBA game. That's the main reason I want to see them guys, and not because I think they're gonna take over a roster spot. I know that's not gonna happen. But I just want to see what does it bode well for us for the future. You know what I mean? And these guys are gonna be able to be around for 3 or 4 years. I think McBride can. I think Quentin Grimes got a chance. You know what I mean? So I think Sims got a chance to be around for the next 3, just like Knox and all these guys got their rookie deals, still with stay with the thing for 4 years, and then we couldn't re-sign them off their rookie deal, and then at least we gave them an opportunity to play here 4 years and learn how to play in the NBA and learn NBA culture. So I think we do got that going well for us. That's why I want to see Rokas tomorrow, so we know if he's going to be one of them guys like a 2 year from now and next year he can leave overseas and come over here and play permanently. That's what I'm looking for. I hope we play tomorrow, though.
Yeah, and Vildoza only got 8 minutes, so because
He was
he
jet
had
lagged.
some jet lag.
Yeah, he was jet lagged. He said he was tired, and I don't think he'll play tomorrow either. I think because of the jet lag, they'll give him that 24 hours off completely. It'll be interesting to see that with all that. Well, guys, I'm gonna head out for a minute because
Yes, indeed.
see you guys tomorrow 8 o'clock. Bronx PLI Sports Network. We got the Yankees bilingual program. I'm also got to go over a few things tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Bronx Sports Jedi. Other than basketball, we'll probably break down the Knicks basketball game as well with myself and Hector at 8 o'clock. So I hope you guys be around. Stop in and say hello, and always welcome there. And guys, you have a good night because I got to get ready for work tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Salute,
All
BS.
right.
Thank you, my brother. I'll
Thank
talk
you,
to you
guys.
later, bro.
Later, guys. Salute.
Yeah, CT. But I was satisfied with what we did today. I like, but even though Valdoza didn't have a good all around game period. But I like his hustle though. He's even though he wasn't into it offensively, he had a couple of shots, he missed it, but he's not selfish. He passed the ball. He tried to get in and get rebounds. He was playing defense. He was scrappy, man, and I did like that much about it. So that just showed me that he's a professional. That is one of the part of the game is not working. That don't mean he's not gonna give effort on the other end. And he did that today. He might didn't shoot the ball well because of all that, but he stayed aggressive, playing on defense, trying to help out on the offense as much as he can. So I liked that from him too. So we'll see how he bounce. Hopefully, he have a bounce back play tomorrow.
Yeah, I think he's coming from a league where it's quite unselfish. He didn't even play a lot of minutes in Europe. So I think he's more of a get the other guys involved. We won't see him score as much, and we don't really need that. We got enough guys that need shots. As long as Vildoza comes in, steady hand, average 4 or 5 assists, push the tempo. He can just be that insurance guard off the bench that we need. And
Right.
look at whoever pops out of McBride or Vildoza, we're sitting pretty. We got 2 vets and 2 other guys. And I'm not looking for Quickly to really be a creator. We need him in his strength, which is pulling up from 3. And how did Grimes look today?
He had a couple of threes he made. He for a first day summer league game, first game, with the rust and not playing organized basketball since either you left college or to now or whatever the case may be. He knocked down his first shot with a 3. He hit another 3, later on in the game. He can stroke the ball. I can see that much. He plays on defense. I think he was all right. I mean, he wasn't nothing to blow out the park. I think the only 2 people that blew me out the park today was Obi Toppin and Sims. And I think after that, McBride game was pretty decent. Then what about the one that shined to me today? Well, definitely Obi Toppin and Sims. I mean, them cats was doing their thing. Everybody else was mediocre. It was really, but that don't mean they won't bounce back. But I do like Grimes' shot though.
Mm-hmm.
I like his shot. He just, I noticed one thing today. He kind of threw me up though. He got to get used to really scrapping in the NBA because a couple of balls that kind of rebounds that kind of fell by him, but he didn't go get it. You know what I mean? I don't know if he was kind of caught up in the moment or something like that. I don't know, but he didn't he could have hustled and got the ball, put like that, and that could have happened just because of the pace of the game. But other than that, he wasn't bad. He was pretty good. I like him. I like them guys we got. I think they're going to be around unless they get traded. But that's not seem like what the Knicks haven't been doing. I seem like they've been keeping all them guys on them rookie deals and letting them grow with the organization. If that's the case, then I think we good with what we got today. I think Sim's going to be nice though.
Yeah, he looks crazy. I see the highlight and that alley-oop dunk.
Oh man,
and that's one of the picks that people felt good about because at 58, that's just the house money.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time the Knicks have just traded those picks away, but to get a high upside big for pick 58, I'm good with that. I mean, we're seeing Jokic become a 40-something pick. Look how he panned out. I mean, that's why some of these bigs, you take bigs later in the draft. It don't mean that they ain't got upside. It just some of these bigs take a few years.
Right. Yep. And he is that one of them that he fits that mold right there. But yeah, that's why I like Grimes and them because you don't get it twisted. I like the programs they come from. I like the coaches who coached them. And now that makes it just bodes well for them because now they got a guy like Tibbs who they don't have to worry about when he get aggressive because Bob Huggins was aggressive. Like I said earlier, Sampson, he can get down in there. So they got coaches who hold you accountable. They had to go hard and get up in your grill. They'll do it. You know what I mean? They scream. They scream. They do that. They play with coaches like that. So that they don't. It won't. Especially McBride playing under Bob Huggins. That's not gonna. The Tibbs effect are not gonna bother him. Now he was a football player. played under Bob Huggins, so he got the dog in him where he won't get rattled if Tibbs throw a tantrum at him or something hypothetically. You know what I mean? So I think that was good to have him there. And he played good today. He got a nice little game with him. Nice mid range, hustles on defense. He gonna definitely. I can see him being around for another 3 or 4 years for sure.
Yeah, I'm super hyped for tomorrow. More games, and look, this Obi, we saw him get better at the end of the season in the playoffs. So yeah, the fact that he's continuing this could mean legit trajectory.
Right.
From where he was in college. I mean, I'm not taking too much into the start of last season. It took a while for him to adjust. You got some all-stars next to you, in front of you. Sometimes you're coming from college where you're the man, and all the offenses run through you, and then suddenly you're just an afterthought. It takes a while to get used to.
Yep.
Now it's looking like he really believes he can dominate at this level, and he's starting to be confident. And I just like his versatility. He's a size where he can play the 3, 4, or 5, and in this game, you need that. If he can shoot the 3 well, I think Obi Toppin's going to have a very long career.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. I thought his maturation was going to be what it is, man. I just think people underestimate him not only in like I was saying earlier, all of them didn't go to training camp. All of them didn't have a summer league, but Obi Toppin got hurt coming out the door. I mean, played one game, then he had that foot injury. I mean, and once he came back, he had to get in a rhythm. You know what I mean? And Julius Randle was hot, so that's unexpected. It's understandable. But I think Obi Toppin gonna be fine, man. I like Obi Toppin, man. You know what? Nobody's untradeable, but I like what we got right now. I really do. I mean, just the guys we drafted last year, this year, and a year before with RJ. With RJ and Mitch and these guys, I like this young core we got here, man. I think they learning the New York way, they're learning the Tibbs way, and so you know what, you want to make sure you got guys who understand the culture. And I think that they laying a foundation with these guys they bringing in here. They understand this culture, and I think they're gonna be well. And I still think Valdoza can wind up being an important player for the Knicks, like you said, especially with Kemba Walker. You never know what might happen with that and time being spelled. So like Steph was saying earlier as well, and I agree with 100% that Valdoza play a part with the Knicks. Unless him Grimes and McBride gonna have to be one battle out for that 11 that backup 3 or whatever. I don't know. That's the only thing I can see. But I think they got a good. You can't be mad at what they got to go after, and I think the Knicks is good, man. So I'm hoping for a good season now. And I think we'll be fine. But, salute to the chat. We are the Knicks, man. Elton Lee, everybody, man. Will, everybody, man. We appreciate y'all hanging in tonight, man. Y'all make y'all hit that like and subscribe. Helps grow the show, help grow the channel. Tell your people, man, Knicks Real Talk. And we're going to keep it popping. We're going to get it popping. I'm looking forward to the season coming up. And we're looking to have a great year this year, man. And I really want to see us just keep building, man. The offseason was good. Like I said, me personally, I'll give a B plus A minus for the offseason this year. I think we had a good offseason all around. And I'm just waiting to see what we're going to do when coming to training camp. We get in there and start grinding CT and see how we're going to put this thing together. But I'm confident in what they did this year. And I think they did things that not only from a talent standpoint, but from a flexibility of the franchise standpoint, they still kept the organization with good infrastructure. Like I said, 2-year deals with a third option. You know what I mean? You got tradable pieces. You got good talent there. You got draft picks galore going down the line. Enough to say, you know what? We need to get somebody. We got some stuff to work with. So I'm excited about. I know a lot of people might want these home runs. They might want these big names, but you got to crawl before you walk, though. You know what I mean? And I think we just started to build this thing. We went from 21 wins 2 years ago to 41. Hopefully, we can go from 41 to 50. And just keep elevating, and keep having the maturation going on in the organization. Let Leon Rose, Scott Perry, and Cat do their thing. And the next thing you know, man, we be like, okay, you know what? We ready to fight for a championship. It's bound to happen at the rate we going now.
Yeah, well, there's only way up, man. Look, continuity is something to be said for. We haven't brought back most of the same roster after a winning season for a long time. And Tibbs is going to love that. That stability. Players already know coming into training camp, if they're not coming in shape, there's going to be hell to pay. Because the players can't say, "Oh, we're new to this." We're bringing back Burks, quickly, Obi, everyone, the whole band, and I think one thing was been said is that the two new guys, Kemba and Fournier, were coached under Steve Clifford, who's a close friend of Tibbs.
Right.
So they're already going to know what's up.
Yep. Absolutely.
Tibbs already knows what's up with them.
Yeah, they come from that coaching tree. They come from that Pat Riley, Jeff Van Gundy. Clifford was a system with him under Jeff Van Gundy. Yeah, man. And Kemba Walker and Evan Fournier, they had a good rapport working around with Boston last year. So I think it's gonna be interesting to see if the Knicks can stay healthy. If we stay healthy, I think we would be a really good team. Because last year we had quite a few injuries, man. We really did, and that's amazing having injuries and safety protocols and cats, and not be able to stand. Had to take quarantine for a while, and we still managed to win 41 games with a player with a ascending all-star, up and coming second-year player who I think is going to get better. I think RJ take a leap this year again, because he always gonna be chasing that. In his mind, he always be chasing that Zion Williamson, Ja Morant thing. You know what I mean? He was drafted with them cats. You know what I mean? And he always gonna feel like I belong up in the top 3 right along with them. You know what I mean? So, and I think he got a lot. I think he's gonna keep improving. I think he's gonna say, I want to make sure I'm a 20-something point scorer. He want to be an all-star. He's not the type of guy that say I'm gonna be satisfied with where I'm at now and leave it there. That's not RJ Barrett. So I think that bodes well for us. That's why I said we got to keep that in consideration where that young man came from a year ago to now. I mean, man, so if everybody keep progressing and keep, I think the Fournier thing was a big thing because I think salute to Reggie Bullock, but now that it's Evan Fournier brings a different dimension to that team. You know what I mean? And he's just not only a catch and shoot guy in the corner. He can do things. He's very versatile with the ball. He can put the ball on the floor. He can go down in the paint. He can try to throw it on you. He can go through the hole. He got to pull up mid range. He got a nice 3 ball. And so I think that's a big upgrade. And I think Kemba Walker, like I said, even if Kemba Walker on a bad night give you 15 points a game, you know what I mean, and be able to get the keep the defense honest. So I think that was a good thing for it too. So I think Mitchell Robinson coming back, if he could play a full season, Knicks got to me is just as strong as they were last year, not even more stronger, just due to the fact Mitchell Robinson might play the whole season, and Evan Fournier and Kemba Walker came. I think that's a big upgrade to the Knicks team. So you cannot take that without taking that into consideration.
And based on my experience, teams click when all the players fall into their natural roles. Like now, RJ is not a number 2, like he was last year. He falls back to a number 3 or 4. Kemba has always been a number 1, but he's regressed a little bit, so he falls into a number 2 role. You got Julius and Kemba carry the load, and you got, like you said, RJ and Fournier that can go off for 20 any night in their sleep. Now, also there's going to be less attention on them. Can you imagine what with the attention on Kemba and Randall going off? Can you imagine how free RJ is going to feel? He's going to be there spotting up for 3, hitting 40%. And then you got Fournier that can play make. I mean, if Trae Young's on Fournier, I've watched him in every game in the Olympics. I think he scored 20 every single game, and that's in a reduced minutes. And that guy can pull up. He can initiate offense as well. He has a nice kick and drive. Fournier can get to the hoop, and then he kicks it out. So that's why I mentioned 3 seed, because I'm not sure what Philly do. They could fall off. Brooklyn, a few injuries. If things click, we could finish as high as 3.
I believe that. I don't think people underestimate him per se, but man, I just think you got to look at that team in totality. The Knicks got much better. I just think the move they made is if everybody stay healthy, no safety protocols, and Mitchell Robinson and Nerlens Noel, man, that's crazy. I think and people got to remember Mitchell Robinson, guys, is on a contract year. He's trying to get it. You know what I mean? He's in a contract year. You know how guys what happen when guys get in their contract year. They playing for that next contract. They gonna show out. So you might see a big year from Mitchell Robinson, man, for sure. He trying to solidify that next contract, and that what makes you more hungry than want more money. You know, and I think that's what they got to be. That's gonna be dangerous, Mitchell Robinson. You know, with Kemba Walker getting through that lane, RJ getting that lane. Fournier breaking down that defense, and Mitchell Robinson coming off the baseline on lobs. It's gonna be bananas, man. I gotta be optimistic about it because I really think that was gonna be the case. I just think that if you look at what's around them, what they're doing, then that second unit is powerful. I mean, you got guys like Burks and Derrick Rose are easy 20 points if they want to. Any given night, they'll catch the drop 20, get hot, and that's a wrap. You know what I mean? So I think if Obi take a next step and quickly have a better sophomore season, and I think with Noel holding down that anchor spot in the second year, I think they're gonna be pretty tough to beat, man. I think they're gonna be a good team for sure.
Yeah, man. I mean, and I like the fact that we're a bit under the radar. You know, like let's be honest. Last year we were under the radar. We surprised people. Now I'm hearing that excuse that it was pandemic year, all this and that. You know, we had give us our flowers. You know, we had the coach of the year, we had most improved. I'm reading all these pundits say we're still, Kemba Walker's injury prone, all this and that. You know, they forget to look at the other upgrades we made. You know, we upgraded a basically a spot up shooter for a shot creator, and we upgraded a point guard that doesn't even have a jump shot to a point guard who's a 4-time All-Star. And also, no one's thinking that Julius could still get better. Like, I don't think he just becomes that overnight at 26 years old and then he just stops growing. I think with more help, he's going to be even more of a problem. There's going to be no double teams. He's going to get rest on some nights. Some nights he may only need to play 28 minutes. Think about that.
Yep, because we might be blowing people out. I offer that Kemba put up 110 a game. I think so, man. I think that if, like I said, if Kemba can give us a healthy 15, we don't need a 19-20 like last year. Kemba can give us a consistent 15 points. Derrick Rose giving us consistent 15 off the bench. That's 30 in your point guard position. You know what I mean? 30 and whatever. And I think Fournier get you 17, 18 easy. I think RJ get you 17. And I think Julius Randle going to get you his 20 something. And all you got to do is let Mitchell Robinson get a double-double. It's over. And I think that second unit come in with Alex Burks and Derrick Rose. I think they both get you 10, 14, or 15. Them two alone, I think, get you 14 apiece in that second unit. You know what I mean? And they quickly get hot. And if Obi could get from 4 points this year to 10 points, 12 points a game this year, which I think he can, if Obi Toppin get to 10 to 12 points a game this year and in his minutes, I think the Knicks will be dangerous. I really do.
Yeah, it's going to be on. But one thing I can confidently say is I don't think the roster we have now will be the roster that finishes the season.
Okay.
I think they're looking for a blockbuster trade mid-season. Because the way I see it is we start well, we start hot, around the 3, 4, 5, 6 seed. We look like we're going to be in the playoff contention, and I think they make that jump. They find that disgruntled star that says, okay, look, the Knicks are real now. Let's make this move. What do you think? Do you see this same roster finishing the year?
I do, you know what? I would see CT. It all depends on where we at. I will put it that way. Depend on where we at and what's available. If it's somebody out there that'll move the needle that they can get, then I believe they would. And if it's not, I think they stay packed. At least to the trading deadline anyway. It all depends, man. I would have to base that on how the season's going. Is a team that you thought that was supposed to have been good, they wind up not being good, and that player, they trying to move on from him and do something different. You always got to keep your eye on the Minnesota thing. You got to keep your eye on the Portland thing. Hey, you might even got to keep an eye on the thing out there with Christian Woods down in Houston. Once his contract is up, because they just brought in some big boys down there as well. So I mean, it's the Bradley Beal thing. I think he stays in Washington. Wow, it's a lot of opportunities out there. But I would have to say Damian Lillard to me, and Cat is the one that I would keep my eye on. Other than that, I think we might stay packed, and at least to the trading deadline, and then we take it from there.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, there's always that upside if Kemba looks legit, gets healthy again. All things are clicking. I can see them not wanting to shake up that chemistry unless it's someone they really want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's not a bad problem to have, though. Think about it, everybody. Kemba Walker and Derrick Rose back to back. It's not too many second stringers in the league could touch Derrick Rose. You know what I mean? Think about that. That's what makes that so impressive. How many guys in the second league and on the second unit on any team been through what could do what Derrick Rose can do and know the game like Derrick Rose know the game? It ain't too many guys can do that. You know what I mean? Derrick Rose will start for the Knicks right now if he wanted to. I know we concerned about his minutes and his this and that, but just because you start them, you got to play a lot of minutes. You know what I mean? It's not a bad problem to have with him and Kemba Walker. Kemba Walker come in there in the first quarter, play the first 6 minutes. Then you bring in Derrick Rose for the next 6 minutes. For every quarter you do that, that's 24 minutes apiece or whatever. That's 48 minutes, or you give them 20 minutes. So it's not a bad problem to have having two guys like that who's all stars. Derrick Rose league MVP, and you've seen what he did for the Knicks last year. So to me, I think he's gonna be more amped now that he got a contract. You know what I mean? Now he playing on a good contract. So he feel like I know I'm gonna be here. He's gonna be settled too, because now he know he's gonna be in New York maybe for the next couple of years at least. So I think that's important. For like Alex Burks, he know he's gonna be here. He have a chance of being here next year, so he's gonna be relaxed. He had to worry about thinking when I'm gonna get moved right now. At least right now, unless a superstar coming, they had to put him in there. But you never know. But I like where we at. I'm excited, man. And tomorrow we're gonna get down at 2:00 and see what's up. And so hopefully the Knicks can get their first summer league win, everybody, and I think they will. But man, salute to everybody that's hanging there with us tonight, man. We're gonna get up out of here in a few. We are the New York Knicks. Salute to you, my brother, for hanging there. We appreciate you, man. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. Tell your people Knicks Real Talk, man. We in here. We in the building, man. I got CT with me. Thank you, Queen Steph, for my co-host and my partner, Bronx Sports Jedi. We're gonna get it popping, man. CT, man, give me some last thoughts before we get up out.
Yeah, thanks, Divine. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for filling me in on the game today, and excited about tomorrow. See what else these young guys can do. I think we'll see different good guys pop each game. But I feel even better about some of the guys, Jericho Sims, Obi Toppin, and some of these guards, let them find their feet, make some mistakes, get coached up. And, I'm excited about, what this season will be. Haven't felt this good going into a season since the 54-win season with Jason Kidd. So, I just feel good. I'm happy with the moves. Give us a B+ as well with the chance it can become an A if the season goes well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, and CT, once we end the stream, just hold on, hang in the back for a minute, right?
Yeah, all good.
Okay. Yeah. But real quick, man, salute to the chat. Let me get my peoples in here. We are the New York Knicks. Salute to you, my brother, for being here. Elton Lee, Will, you already know what it is. Queens Court within the building. Pudge Nice, P Nice, thank you, my brother. We salute you, and we'll see you on the next one. Uncle Fulio, thank you so much. Everybody, man, that came in. P Ramos, you name it, man. Gummy Brick, salute to you, my man. Thanks for coming in here, man. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe. Become part of the family. Elton Lee, you already know what it is, man. Frank Matos, my brother, you already know what it is. Everybody out there, man, who came in and came on the show and support us tonight. We appreciate y'all. We'll see y'all on the next one. Camilio, everybody, man. Y'all just have a good night. Be safe, man. Have a good weekend and all that good stuff, man. And we'll see you. Y'all just look out for the notification, man. Between now and Wednesday, I'll hit y'all up again. We get on, man. Talk a little bit more stuff before the season die down. But we're gonna keep it popping, man. Jet for life, salute. We appreciate you, my brother, for chiming in. But yeah, man, good summer league day. I'm happy about that. I like the what I've seen out there. Salute to my man Sims, man. Young man gonna be special going down the line. Grimes, McBride, Veldoza, everybody, man. Y'all just keep grinding, man. Hopefully I have a bounce back game tomorrow. And we come out there with a W, man. But it's really about just the maturation of the players getting better and, taking them steps to become a better NBA player. You know what I mean? I like Obi's step today. I think he did well, quickly and have a good game, but still quickly. We know he already in the NBA. But these guys is on a journey, man. They got drafted. Now they're here to try to make their name in the NBA. And I think we got a good start with some of these young guys, man. We just got to watch them grow and have patience with them, because patience is the virtue. Have patience with these guys and just let them go through their ups and downs, man. They nicks and bruises, salute Tone Crow. And let them go through their nicks and bruises and all that good stuff, man. And then they wind up being pretty special, man. And I think they will. But until then, man, thanks for everybody, man. We'll see y'all on the next episode, man. Knicks Real Talk, Divine, Bronx Sports, Jedi, CT, Queens Court. Thank you and everybody who chimed in, man. Salute. I holla at y'all. Peace.
Yo, salute. Knicks Real Talk, man. Divine. About to get out my grind, hop in the Black Knight. About to make it happen, man. Knicks Real Talk. We all over the place. About to get it popping. Divine, Bronx, Jedi, 7-6. The night show, the morning show. Knicks Real Talk, man. About to get in the Black Knight.
Knicks Real Talk, let's get it poppin'. We hoppin' like toppin', and the Jumpman brand ain't no stoppin'. Divine and Bronx, Jedi, 7-6. We live from Facebook, Twitter to Twitch, and all that shit. We number uno, the promo that blow like nitro. Now the streets are buzzing, so we flow with the night show. So spike them likes below. That thumbs up, run them up, and you double up, cause it's Knicks Real Talk, and we on the come up. We'll salute to the cats in the chat. So where it's at, now you place the chats. When I pace that under space while faces at. We lace these cats with news, notes, stats. Game recap, no hyperbole, we straight facts. In fact, we say it lit like a candle throughout the handle on the banner. We violent, so subscribe to the channel. Knicks Real Talk. Knicks Real Talk.